is up, bros? I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we are a couple of bros on a mission to give you guys the most detailed movie reviews out there with as little bias as possible. Welcome to the All Bros. This week on the podcast, we are joined by our very special third guest, or third host.
John Leguizamo, it's me, everybody. I finally made it to the show. Johnny Legs is here. I wouldn't be part of that Mario movie, but I will be on the All Brothers podcast. That's right. It's me, baby, Johnny Legs. I'm 70. Come on.
He's not really 70, is he?
I don't know. He's very old, though. He's shockingly old. I told somebody today, I was like, how old do you think John Leguizamo was in the Mario movie? And they said to me as confidently as my nephew said the Marianas Trench is just not in the ocean. He was 19 years old, they said to me, and I was like 33, and there was an audible gasp.
I was going to guess late 20s, but okay.
Yeah, that's what I would have guessed too. But he's not like shockingly old. Like, he's 62.
Bro, he doesn't look 62.
That I'll give you that.
60. Yeah, he looks like 51, maybe. Right? That dude has aged gracefully and then some. I mean, who knows? He is only 62. He's got some years to do some of them hard mushrooms, you know.
Oh, yeah. Man, I was really hoping that we would have gotten him on, but we got him to like comment on something, kinda, and I'll take it all day long.
Yeah, I got to look at John Leguizamo's stories on Instagram and be like, it says the All Bros and down there featuring the Untrained Eye. Haha, we did it. We're famous now. He ain't gonna do it this time though. Homeboy is not a fan.
Nope, no. Not even a little bit.
I'm getting started on that.
Yeah. Anyway, so this week in 4K Spotlight, we have a couple new movies that are coming out that Rose will bring up here in a second. Then in Through the Wall, we got a couple trailers that we're going to talk about. One for The Marvels, one for Ahsoka. So, yeah, after that, we'll be getting into our headliner where we will be breaking down the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So, with that, let's say we get into this.
Need motivation? Angry Dad Podcast. Trying to jumpstart your life? Angry Dad Podcast. You want help getting off the couch? Angry Dad Podcast. You need a verbal kick in the ass? Angry Dad Podcast. You want to hear from somebody who's been through it all? Angry Dad Podcast. I am here for you. You can find me on all podcast platforms.
Ben. Totally regular voice Ben, we love you. You got to be on the show to get that joke.
All right, starting off in 4K Spotlight. Rose, do you want to let everyone know what movies are coming out this week?
I would love to. So first up, we got Cocaine Bear, which is coming to Blu-ray. It's not getting 4K release, unfortunately. Yeah, this is one that I have not seen. I know Caleb hasn't seen. Have you seen it, DJ?
I have not. I jokingly told my wife, I was like, I could take the nephews to go see it if you want some time to yourself. Because it was the only thing playing. And I was like,
that's funny.
I don't know. Could be good.
So it actually starts streaming on Peacock this Friday, if you actually do
really
check it out. Yeah.
I will definitely watch that movie. Like, I don't know if it's a theater watch, but that definitely seems like a sit down with a beer and watch Cocaine Bear. By the way, I don't know if you guys heard or if it's even true, but apparently, much like, you know how Sharknado just started getting spin-offs of itself, I saw, it could have been a joke, but I saw a mock-up poster for a Cocaine Shark, which I would be into.
I don't know if that's real, but I know that there has been talks of like them, like other spin-offs with this kind of stuff.
I would watch it. Not in the theaters, but I would watch it.
I'm looking at it right now just to see.
Don't.
There is.
Yes.
Holy shit, that really is a thing. Oh my god.
I'm so glad it's true.
Dude, there's a trailer for... Oh, wait, when did this article come out? March 9th? Yeah, there's a trailer for it and everything.
Are we sure, though, it's a real trailer?
I'm going to look real quick while you talk about the other movies.
Okay.
Or finish your thoughts on
well,
Cocaine Bear.
Well, actually, while I finish this, I'm going to look at the Wikipedia page for Cocaine Bear and see if there's like any mention of spin-offs. No, I want the movie, not the actual event. Damn it. Okay, well, so the other movie coming out this week is Magic Mike: The Last Dance. I have only seen the first Magic Mike. I never checked out the second one. I meant to. I think I even bought the Blu-ray. Yeah, no, I did buy the Blu-ray, but I never watched it. So I'll need to see the second one before I see the third one. But like the story wasn't bad in the first one. I feel, a lot of people would say, oh yeah, I just come here to watch, Channing Tatum dance sexually without a shirt on. I'm sure that's what a lot of people go for too. But the story is actually not that bad, actually, from what I remember of the first one. So I'm interested in seeing the third one. I don't know when I'll actually see it. I'll probably catch it when it comes to like a streaming service. So yes, so those are the two releases coming out this week, and both are. Let me just double check. I believe Magic Mike X. Wow, I'm saying the sequel here. Sorry. I believe Magic Mike: The Last Dance is just getting a Blu-ray release as well. It's not getting a 4K, but let me double check on that.
I just want to say, Rose, when you were explaining, this has a really good story. You sound like those guys back in the day that were like, I buy Playboys for the articles, okay? There just happen to be naked ladies in there, and that is a bonus, but I get it for the in-depth interviews they do.
Look, all I'm saying is, when I saw the first one, I should have just, should have just came out right there. Like, come on, Jonathan.
Yeah, you're letting your buy show.
Yeah.
Guys, I gotta use the bathroom. I don't want to talk about it. I'll be right back. He's used the bathroom 4 times during this movie. He's got to stop drinking so much soda.
All right, so for those of you that are curious, I just watched the trailer for Cocaine Shark.
Go on.
It looks to be of the same quality as Velocipaster. Like the special effects go from like super cheesy. There's like a big like fake explosion to like anime looking like sparks when people stomp, and it is so just to give you an idea of how good this movie may or may not be. It is written by someone who wrote 2 movies called The Abomination and Repligator.
What a great title.
It is
clearly an alligator that replicates itself. Gotcha. So just sounds like a regular alligator just laying eggs, but go ahead.
It is directed by someone that made a movie called Amityville in Space.
I love that. Technically, Amityville is in space. So just putting that out there.
Let's see. It stars someone who is in 2 movies called Queen Crab and Jurassic Prey, as well as someone that was in Amityville in Space and a movie called Sharkula.
Sharkula. Now, I wonder if that's a... Wait. Everybody, you just stop for a second. You don't say Sharkula and then keep talking. Okay? The speculation begins now. Is Sharkula a shark that bites other sharks and turns them into its minions, or sucks their blood, or is Sharkula a shark that bites people and turns them into shark vampires? Don't read the plot. You guess. Guess right now.
Okay, well, I'm looking at the thumbnail of Sharkula,
Is he wearing a cape with like the big thing on the back, you know?
Oh, okay. If he wasn't, I was.
He is. He absolutely. At least it looks like it. It could be just like a splash of blood, but it looks like the freaking big ass cape. And it's a shark with fangs.
Well,
or I guess the production company that made this also has a bunch of other movies that are in this recommended, like after YouTube trailer thing, called Evil Building, Sharkula, The Dead Girl in Apartment 3, Ouija Shark 2, and Mountain Devil 2.
Mountain Devil 2. Like, this is, I feel like we all missed, because, like, do you remember in the beginning days of Netflix streaming, when Netflix had nothing, and they were just, like, they just had all the knockoff everything, like, there was a business, where, like, people were like, all right, we're gonna remake this movie. It's the Transformers. We're gonna call it the Transmorphers. It's gonna take place in 3. That's right, 3 rooms, and that is it. This entire 1.5 hour movie is gonna be all that, and and that's what it was. Like, every movie was just like Barry Spotter and the guy who, I don't know, spots trains or whatever. Like, all of it, and it was all 3 rooms, and that's what they did. Like, we need to do this, guys. Let's make Ocula? Octopus Dracula?
Trademark that.
Yeah, so this is something that is coming to digital and DVD on July 7th. So Cocaine Shark is of this year.
Wow, no Blu-ray release. They definitely have a lot of faith in this.
Please get Ben on to break this movie down with you guys, please.
What, Cocaine Shark?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, man. Anyway, yeah. So, for those of you that were curious, that spinoff is, in fact, real.
Sorry, not sorry that I brought it up.
All right, anything else you guys wanted to say about either Cocaine Bear or Magic Mike?
I got one thing to say. DJ, I thought you had to use the bathroom.
Oh, I already did.
Oh,
you can't see me from the waist down, buddy.
All right, well,
one more time.
I'm learning a lot about DJ tonight. This is exciting.
I was re-listening to our last episode, all those months ago, 2 weeks ago, and I forgot that I was like, yeah, I got this role-playing group, and you, Rose, are like, I'm sorry, what do you have now?
I'm sorry. Usually when people think roleplay, they think sexually. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, and then I leaned into it.
I just have that dirty of a mind.
I gotta lean into it, Rose. It's my thing. I lean into it. That's why I went to the bathroom. I realized I did that too on the episode. I did this, which no one can see, which is air quotes, and then didn't mention that I did air quotes. Just did air quotes to you guys because I could see your face.
I have such a bad problem with doing that kind of shit. Caleb always gets mad at me for it.
I don't get mad. I think it's funny. I'm like, no one's going to understand that this was a joke.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not wearing any pants. For everyone at home, I did the air quotes.
All right, well, moving on to Through the Wall. We got 2 new trailers to talk about. The first one came out today, the day that we're recording, which was awesome. And then the other one came out a few days ago.
That's the 4 days ago of this recording, anyway.
Yeah, so let's go with Ahsoka first, because I know Rose doesn't have very much to say about that.
Yeah, you guys got this. I'm just gonna kick back and.
I mean, honestly, I don't have a lot to say about it other than like I got to see another sneak peek at some Rebels characters. I just cannot wait. Like this is the series. The Mandalorian was the series I didn't know that I wanted. This is the series that I have wanted forever. I feel like.
Wait, really quickly, because have you guys kept up with season 3 of The Mandalorian?
Of course.
Come on.
Oh,
Not
okay,
me,
so
because I'm a
What?
loser. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
'cause-
sorry.
It has been like this is one of the most divisive things I've seen in Star Wars. Like, so like either people love it or hate it. Like, so what is your opinion?
On season 3?
Yeah, like a lot of people hate it. They do not like it at all.
Those people are wrong.
I like what they're doing. Like, I don't think it's like... It's not out of character or anything, like what they're doing, but I will say this, it does feel a little... I won't say fan servicey. It feels like they're throwing in like cameos and shit. Like, I feel like cameos used to mean something, and they've just kind of cheapened it.
Okay.
Just for the sake of it now.
I want to
Yes.
say this about the
Okay.
cameos, because on one hand, I didn't get to this, but I already heard, because how do you stay away from all the spoilers? But for anyone who doesn't know, Jack Black and Lizzo and Doc Brown were in at least one episode, if not more. But
Yeah, it was the last one.
my thing
Spoiler
is
alert.
like, I love listen.
I'm just kidding.
If I'm not giving myself the leeway, I'm not giving these people the leeway either.
Fair enough.
But I felt this way, and then I heard someone say it. Like, I like Jack Black a lot. I like Lizzo. I obviously like Doc Brown. But cameos like this is not. It's not a star. I know it sounds like. I know Star Wars fans are the worst, so I know how I sound when I'm about to say this. But Star Wars that's not a Star Wars thing. To just be like, hey, you know that guy that everybody knows? He's here now. You see? Look at him. He's right here, and now he's in space, too. You're supposed to find out that Daniel Craig was a stormtrooper that came in, and you had no idea, but he was there that day and threw on a helmet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not opposed to it. I didn't see it, so obviously I can't say like it was good, bad, or otherwise. And I'm not gonna lie, I love Jack Black, so I'm going to love that scene. But
So that's just it. They were such a small part, too. Like, it wasn't like the whole episode was like around them. They were just kind of
there.
It was Mando traveling to a planet that had some quote unquote royalty, or like some sort of like I'll just say royalty. They had some royalty, and they just happened to be the king and queen.
Yeah, and I
It
don't know,
didn't
like
focus too much. It's like they kind of gave Mando his next mission, and that was it. It wasn't like
But
they
did
were
it-
like a huge part. Like, they jumped
Did it
back
take
every
you
once
out
in a
of it,
while.
though, at all?
Not really.
No? Okay.
And that's it. Is like, here's the thing. Like, if it doesn't become like these shows don't become the vessel for like, whoever is the hottest in pop culture, because that's the thing. Like, so here's why I don't want to be like too harsh on it, because of that episode in She-Hulk when Meg Thee Stallion showed up and everyone flipped their wigs off. Like, it was how unconscionable. How could this rap woman be in the show with our green lady? This is impossible. And then they get down and twerk? I don't think so. Like, that was nonsense. Like, that was a great episode. That was a great show. But, like, I don't want it to be that where they're just like, hey, and then Mando's twerking. Like, obviously that's not going to happen. But I don't know. I also don't want to be that terrible Star Wars fan, because I have literally felt the force of, not to be punny, but of those Star Wars fans that are just the worst. And I hate smack talking Star Wars because I don't want to be lumped in with them, but I do have critiques of it. So,
So this is kind of how it was set up. It wasn't like they had no reason to travel to this planet. They had a reason. They needed to talk with someone. They knew that they were on this planet. They kind of got intercepted from this royalty people. Brought them into their den or their area, and was just like, they told them like, hey, we need to go chat with these people. They're like, hey, but could you do a mission for us first? And they're like, sure. So they went and did the mission, came back, everything was solved. They went and talked to the people, and like it continued the story, but it was like just kind of like a quick sidetrack thing. It wasn't like a huge deal. It was a fun cameo where it could have just been just some rando.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it wouldn't have had the same impact. It was just like, oh, like, okay, who cares about this? But I think they were trying to incorporate something fun for other people. Be like, hey, like, instead of it being just completely like random people.
Well, and I think too, Rose, what you might be alluding to is like some people with season 3, I heard were like, if you didn't watch the Book of Boba Fett, you don't know what's going on. You see, it seems like season 2, everything is done and it's good and wrapped up, and then season 3 shows up, and then he's got the kid back, and then they're just flying around in some ship you've never seen before. Like, hey man, relax. You can only see Mandalorian on Disney Plus, and spoiler alert, the Book of Boba Fett was on Disney Plus. So if you didn't watch that, then you don't care anyway. And most people probably did watch that. And if you didn't hear by now that the second half of the Book of Boba Fett was Mandalorian season 2.5, then you didn't care enough to watch it, so who cares? Like, if you're enjoying the thing, like, even though the story might have seemed wrapped up after season 2, I mean, we're living in a fantasy world, right? Where these are real people doing real things. So their story didn't end after season 2. They still did stuff, and now we get to see it. So who cares?
Yeah. So my wife and I, we've been watching Mandalorian together. Before season 3 started, we went back and rewatched the last 3 episodes of Book of Boba Fett just to get her caught up on what was happening with Mando.
Yeah.
And that's all you really need. You just need that one episode. She probably didn't need to watch both of all 3 of those. She probably could have just watched the one that was like just the Mando episode and called it good. But she wanted to kind of watch that story through. She's like, what else is Mando in? And I'm like, he's in these 3. And so we watched all of those 3 just so she could get caught up. I had already watched all of Book of Boba Fett, so I knew what was what.
And I don't know how big a fan of Star Wars she is, but people hated on that show. That show definitely had its problems, but that was a good show. That was
a damn good show.
It again, definitely had its issues. I don't want to go over them because I don't want to be lumped in with the haters, but I would say overall, great show, great compliment to what Mandalorian was and helped go, okay, we can transition you into season 3 and Boba Fett out. See you next time.
Yeah, and tying this into what we're talking about with Ahsoka, I feel like Ahsoka's going to have the same issues too. At some point.
Well, I think how long until someone goes, oh, I never saw Rebels. Who are these people? What are these things? Why does she seem to know these people already? Why do they already know what the Darksaber is? Hey, you're all dumb. You're all dumb. Everyone, including me. Just relax. Just watch a show and enjoy laser fights. Why are you looking that deep into it? You can, but you don't have to. I know, Rose, you're not into all of that, but you could watch that show and be fine. There would be stuff that you were like, I don't know what this is a reference to, but it's a good show. I'm not talking about Ahsoka. I'm talking about Mandalorian again, but I would imagine Ahsoka is going to be the same way of I don't know, maybe you'll need a little context of Mandalorian, but probably not.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I think I think something Disney Plus has been really good about is before a show comes out, they give you hey, you might want
here's
some catch up for you to do.
The category that's before you watch whatever.
Yeah, that is so useful. Just before you watch this, check out this. I think they did it with Shang-Chi and other movies. Yes. They're just hey, before you watch this next Marvel thing, watch this.
Yeah, I remember before Wakanda Forever came out, they had all right, you need to watch Civil War, and the other ones I can't remember.
Yeah. So I have no doubt that they're probably going to do that with Ahsoka. I've already watched all of Rebels. I'm probably going to do a quick rewatch before the show Ahsoka comes out, just to like refamiliarize myself with everything. But I mean, I'm pumped. I'm really freaking excited for what they showed. My only complaint, though, and this is probably a really stupid like issue to have, Hera.
Hey, she looks a little goofy, right?
I don't think it's goofy. She looks a bit too feminine.
But like, yeah, there's something that was like, again, I don't want to be that guy, but I was looking at her and I was like, like, but I mean, that, I don't know. Like, listen, I'm not going to lie. I'm just waiting to see Ezra show back up and be like, hey, the freaking space whales brought me back, everybody. Hey, if you really thought you didn't know what was going on, space whales that can use warp speed or whatever, it took me away. Me and your boy, old Blue Man Thrawn. We left on a spaceship on a whale, and we're back now.
Yeah. So I like that what they're doing is just kind of doing those like small incorporations of stuff from Rebels into what's going on now. And I'm excited. I'm happy with The Mandalorian. I feel like I'm going to be more than excited for Ahsoka. The only thing, like, in terms of Ahsoka, because like I said, I had some issues with Hera looking a little like a tad too feminine. Because I like, at least the way that she looked animated, it felt like she was a little bit more tomboyish.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, that, again, super small issue. But Ahsoka,
well, in fairness, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, with Ahsoka, I feel like I don't know if they're able to capture how epic of a fighter Ahsoka was from Clone Wars.
Dude, like if you look at Clone Wars, and then what was it? Did they do did Clone Wars go into Bad Batch, or didn't they do like a last season of Clone Wars where Ahsoka was like more grown up, or was that the first season of Bad Batch? What am I thinking of? So
Clone Wars, the last season led into Order 66. Like, it ended with Order 66 happening. And then Ahsoka just kind of... it was like her escaping Order 66 and where she went. And then Rebels, like, kind of brought her in to do some stuff. So she was a little bit more aged and...
Keep talking. I gotta look, because I know I'm thinking, because wasn't there something where like she was almost doing, because it was funny because I never said it at the time, but whenever they kind of brought her back for a moment, like in the animated series, like she kind of was doing an Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Obi-Wan show, where she kind of just like had a job and was like, I have my lightsabers like in a box somewhere, and I don't really do that Force stuff anymore. And she ended up like there were like these two sisters, and she needed her ship fixed, and the one
that was the last season of Clone Wars.
Okay.
That they did on Disney Plus.
But okay. I don't know. All of that nonsense I just said to say, like, TikTok knows my heart and knows that it's going to break it, because it's been showing me a lot of Ahsoka meeting back up with Anakin as Vader. And I don't know. Like, I think this is the best we're ever going to get as far as live action. I don't know if you'll get a better representation of Ahsoka in live action. But you can't compare it to the animated. It's not possible. It's not possible to be quite as, I don't even know the word, but just not as quite as the animated version was, because she was such a tragic character. Like, it was so, I mean, and then when you rewatch it, it's even more tragic. So I don't know. Every time I see her, I'm sad. Like, in live action or animated, I'm just like, oh my God, everything you dedicated your life to smashed down around you was corrupted to death. Like, what? How do you keep doing it, lady?
Yeah, it's wild what they're able to do. But like I said, I think they're going to struggle with the action on this show.
Yeah, because there is no more of a flip wizard than old Snips. Like, her whole jam is to just I just jump around and I have these two lightsabers and they move at lightning speed. And she is just fierce, and I don't know. I mean, I know her introduction in Mandalorian was like the coolest live action introduction to a character maybe ever, because they just had her like Predator style, like in the dark, like swing, gotcha. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do, but it'll be a tough road to hoe to get her to fight like she does on the show.
Yeah, this is why I think that they should have cast the woman that did her motion capture.
You mean her motion capture or her voice? Or is that the same lady?
It's the same lady.
Okay, because, dude, that lady stays upset. She's like, I'm right here. I already do the voice. I do the cosplay. Why'd you do this? It's like, lady, I hate to break this to you, but from the moment that Ahsoka broke onto the scene, people were like, and Rosario Dawson will play her. Like, there has never been any other fan cast than Rosario Dawson for Ahsoka.
Yeah, I think Star Wars fans freaking screwed up on that one.
I don't know, because she's a great actor or actress.
She is.
Whatever.
I'm not denying that at all. She does, like, it's just the voice. It's the voice and the freaking mocap. Like, you have she's an alien, dude. Like, obviously you could just dress her up a little bit and it'll be perfect.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Cade Bane. Like, they could have had anybody play him. They could have had Clint Eastwood play him, and you never would have known. Mm-hmm. He's just turned into whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm, at least I put it out there in the zeitgeist in my own brain that I always wanted her to play Ahsoka. And I saw that the one lady was so butthurt about it, which I get it, but also relax, lady. You make all the bread. Okay? Like, your house isn't lacking. You're not lacking. You're not going home hungry because you're like, I didn't make it into the Ahsoka show. Freaking Bo-Katan could do it, but not me. Yes, Bo-Katan could do it, but not you. You're a tiny white lady. Relax. Chill.
I think that's where my issues lie, because I'm like, Ahsoka's like also small. Like,
well, she was small.
There's no reason she shouldn't. I know.
And that's the other thing too. Like, the character didn't really, man. The character didn't really look like her, like the real person. Whereas like Bo-Katan, like, you could tell they did they modeled that animated character off of the actress that did that. So it kind of made sense to have her come in as Bo-Katan. We got to move on to the the other movie, Rose. I feel like Rose is going to be sleeping here soon. Like, I get it. You freaking idiots love laser swords. Move on.
Yeah. But just got to say, this trailer did pretty decent. 8 out of 10 excitement level for me on that one.
Yeah, for sure. I would say 9 out of 10 just on the strength of Mandalorian alone.
All right, moving on over to Marvels, which I think Rose might have a little bit more input on.
Just skips over my opinion.
It was 2 out of 10, people, rightfully so.
Yeah. Oh, like, did that make you excited to watch Ahsoka at all, or were you just, like, lost?
No, I was lost.
Okay, that's what I assumed. Like, if you had thoughts on it, like...
No, I got nothing.
All right. Yeah, so moving on over to the Marvels. Rose, you want to share your thoughts first?
Please. Hey, let me ask you this, Rose. Where did you watch the trailer? Because I did the first, and I've only seen the trailer on TikTok. which I've never had that
Wait,
experience before.
are we talking about the Marvels, or are we going back
Marvels.
to Ahsoka?
The Marvels,
Okay,
yeah.
the Marvels. No, I watched it on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering. Sorry.
No, you're good. No. So, I don't know what is up with how they're like really kind of pushing Brie Larson's Captain Marvel to like the back burner a little bit, at least like when it comes to the three of these ladies. I'm not saying I hate that. Like, don't get me wrong, I really like her as Captain Marvel, but like the one that I'm the most interested in, because, like, don't get me wrong, I'm interested to see Monica's story a little bit more, but I wasn't really that interested in her in WandaVision. I want to see this movie just for Kamala Khan. That's really all that I'm going to this movie for, because I love the actress so much that plays her. Like, her energy is just so infectious, and she's so perfectly cast in this role that, like, I can't help but just smile whenever she's on screen, because she's so great. But like when it comes to the trailer, like it got me interested. But like I don't know. Like I'll definitely see it, but like I feel like I need like another trailer to like actually like kind of sell me on it. Like I definitely tell that this takes place after Secret Invasion thing. But yeah, no, just I'm interested in, but I'm not completely sold on this yet, and that's kind of shocking for me to say about a Marvel.
Well, you say it takes place after Secret Invasion. Are you sure? Like,
That's what I've been told.
I was gonna say, was the end, because it wasn't like from the trailer, it seemed like the end of the Miss Marvel show was kind of like right at the beginning or like near the beginning of the Marvels movie.
Yeah,
so
like
I don't know
they
when
kind of had that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So, like, wherever this takes place, it takes place immediately after Ms. Marvel.
Okay. So I was
so
lied
wherever. So it's like wherever Ms. Marvel ends up in the Secret Invasion timeline. Like, we'll see, but
I mean,
okay.
well, I don't know how much Marvel gives clues by their songs, but the fact that they used Intergalactic and they just kept playing that part over and over. Another dimension, another dimension, another dimension, another dimension. Like, is this going to be a thing where we are going to do a lot more? I mean, obviously we've broken open the sacred timeline now. So are we going to be doing more dimension hopping? Are we going to see like more Marvel characters other than those three? Like, by the way, I'm not opposed to Miss Marvel. Couldn't finish the show. The show was not my cup o' tea. Like, we got about halfway through, and one day Beth was like, "Oh yeah, we never finished that show," and I was like, "Yeah, that's okay." And she was like, "Yeah, that's okay."
I think the last episode's worth watching.
Listen, it wasn't bad. Again, I've become a cynical old man. I am 39 years old. I'll be 40 soon. I am really just putting on the 40-year-old man suit, because somebody said it to me today. They're like, it's the Disney like preteen kid show. Like, it's not for you, old man. Like, you don't like Miss Marvel because it's for the children, and you're not the children. And I was like, that makes sense. Because I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm too far divorced from like trying to convince my mom to go to a dance. So I'm like, all right, do a superhero thing, ladies.
Hey, you
this
had
movie
to do that too? Cool.
This movie looks awesome. Like, this movie looks amazing. Like, I had 0 for this movie. Like, not a huge Captain Marvel fan. Love Rambo. On Miss Marvel. I like the actress, but not like the show was eh. And I watched the trailer and was like, oh, I will be seeing this movie opening weekend. Like, absolutely. Like, this movie looks kind of a little bit amazing. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to all of it. And don't get it twisted. They're making it seem like Captain Marvel is like in the background because they're like, listen, we're not into like cis white ladies anymore, okay? But don't get it twisted. They will, in that movie, she will be front and center. Don't Don't even worry. The white lady will come to save the day for everybody else. Don't worry.
That I'm not 100% certain about, because I think I saw a poster and Monica was in the front with... and I know that they could obviously be doing that just for like their variety of posters, where it's just like each one has like a different poster with a different lady in front. But
no, you're absolutely right. There's only one poster that I've seen, and yeah, the top is Monica, middle Captain Marvel, and then on the floor.
I mean, listen, I like Monica Rambeau a lot. Like I don't know. We have gotten not a lot of time with her, other than on WandaVision somewhat, but. I don't know. I would have. Whatever. I don't
find it funny. Sorry.
Go ahead. No.
Just I find it funny that like you and me are like opposites when it comes to these characters, because like I don't find Monica that interesting in WandaVision, but I love Kamala in her show. And then yeah, you're the complete opposite, where you actually like Monica and not the biggest fan of Kamala. So. Or at least the show you're not the biggest fan of.
Yeah,
which is messed up, because I didn't care for Monica, and I really like Captain Marvel.
Well, here's the thing, like Kamala Khan, like I like her, I like that actress. Like that show was just like somebody, I think it was Chris Watsky described it as like Disney show or Disney Channel Marvel, and I don't think anyone has described that show better to me than that. Like it is the Disney Channel Marvel show.
I mean, he's not wrong, but I was honestly okay with that. I feel it worked for her character.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Old Man Jones here, like I missed out on Hannah Montana and Zoe 539 or whatever and all the other stuff, and the sweet life of Zach and Cody, and they're on a ship now. Like all of that missed me like hard. So this being that it's not bad. It's just not for the those of us that use canes when they talk.
Dude, I'm so sold on this movie. Like I was pretty excited just because I want to see Captain Marvel again, because I love Captain Marvel. But I freaking love Kamala in this. I think she's gonna be so freaking funny. Like I love when she got like sent into the world and then like watched Goose freaking eat everyone, and she's just like that panic laugh, like just yell. That's my favorite scene from that trailer.
Like the idea of another like young quippy kid that is not Tom Holland. Because I like Tom Holland, but we get it, guy. You're just a kid. You're just a kid. What do I do, Mr. Stark? Ah.
I think we're at a point now where we get to see some like really decent stuff from Tom Holland now that he's not like super reliant on all the other Avengers.
I hope so. If we even get to, I mean, I know they said that they're going to be using him still, but like, is that... I don't know. I would like to see more Spider-Man stuff with him, but I feel like it's going to be a lot further down the road than I would like.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on Marvels?
10 out of 10 excitement level.
Really?
Yes. When I saw the poster for the Marvels movie, I had like negative excitement for it. I was like, Jesus
It's not
Christ.
that great of a poster.
It's
like
terrible.
Yeah, it kind of
poster.
sucks.
Yeah.
It's a terrible poster. I really am not a fan. I can't say I don't like, but I'm just not a fan of Captain Marvel. Again, I was like mediocre on the Miss Marvel TV show. And but after seeing that trailer, like I'm fully in. Like after what Quantumania, like its weirdness was, because it was a good movie, but like what? Like that, the end of that movie is, huh? I need something of Marvel that I am like full in on, I love, and then it meets my expectations. So I would like for this to be that movie. 10 out of 10. Good night, everybody. The Mario movie. See you later.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm probably at an 8 with the Marvels. Like don't get me wrong, I'm excited. I think I need a little bit more. Like I need, for me, the selling point's usually the story trailer. Like, that kind of gives me everything that I need to fully, like, have my, like, excitement level set. So, yeah, I'm at an 8.
I'm going to agree with everything that Caleb just said, but I'm 1 point lower at a 7.
Fair.
Sorry.
Who would have thought the guy that sounded like he was the most down about the people in the movie was the most excited to see the movie?
Dude, I'm excited for the, like, future of Marvel. Like, I think Marvel needs to take a freaking step back, focus on quality over the quantity,
Dude,
which I hope.
Because I'm starting to get a little Marvel. I never thought I'd say that.
I know. I'm not reaching fatigue, but I'm like, dude, freaking hit me with a couple more freaking average movies, and, like, I'm going to start feeling it too. But freaking back it up a little bit. Give us some decent shows. Give us some, like, give us a couple movies a year. Like, I don't think that's too much to ask. But I will say, out of everything, because my excitement level, like, out of all of 2023 or just Phase 4 in general, are we in Phase 5 yet?
No, we're Phase 5.
Yeah,
we're in Phase 5.
Quantumania was the start of Phase 5, right?
Okay.
Yes.
So if that's the case, the thing I was the most excited about in Phase 5 was Quantumania. Quantumania has kind of let me down, or a little bit. But now I'm really banking on, and I wasn't for a while, just until I heard what James Gunn said about Volume 3, and him being like, it is not setting anything up, it is focusing on ending. And I'm like, I can live with that.
Good. That's what I want from Volume 3.
Yeah,
Well,
that's exactly what I wanted.
I don't mind the setup of things in these movies, but, like, I feel like Marvel has leaned too far into, like, ooh, the next one. Boy, you're going to be really wowed by the next one. And, hey, they used to save that for, like, the end. And now that's, like, crept its way, like, further and further towards the beginning of the movie, to the point to where you're like, all right, so can we just skip this and go to the thing that's cool? Like, why are we doing this if I'm just waiting for the next thing? You're just telling me from the beginning, ooh, the next movie, you're going to be, whoa, wow, wowie, wow. Like, all right, cool. Show me that. Give me that. Give me the good stuff.
Yeah, I definitely feel you there. It's they're pushing, like, oh, just wait, and just like, how about you just give us something good now?
Well, think of what was the movie. Which movie was it where, like, at the end, you see Captain America and Falcon, and they've got Bucky trapped in that vice. Like, that's the after credits of that movie. Do you remember what I'm talking about? And you're like, oh my God, what? And I think that led into, like, Winter Soldier or something.
So that led into Civil War. I don't
That's
remember
what
what movie that was, though. Was it Winter Soldier that did that?
Maybe it was. But it was like that. I mean, that was like a way, because you're like, whoa, where do they go from here? And then they're like, we got him. And you're like, oh my God, what? Like, how did they trap him in that vice?
That's what I think they need to start doing. They need to focus on not building this big-ass universe. They need to focus on individual stories that eventually, and, like, just give us those little things at the end. Like they did with frickin' Phase 1 and 2 and 3. Like, they just gave us little nuggets at the end, and we're like, oh shit, like, this is leading up to something, but it's like they're setting it up through the entire movie.
Well, what was crazy is, like, a couple years ago, Beth and I were, like, going to go and, like, watch all the Marvel movies in, like, chronological order. And you can tell, like, they start strong with Iron Man, and then they are still trying to get their footing a little bit. But you can see a clear, like, all right, we are doing something now when they get to Captain America Winter Soldier. Because you're like, oh, I'm watching a film now. Like, I went from going to the movies to, like, this is a thing that I'm watching. Like, this isn't just a way to pass the time. They're like, we want to make a thrilling action movie for you to watch. and that was that. And it's like, oh, okay, we're doing something here. And I feel like they have kind of like regressed back to like, we can just kind of do what we want and everyone's going to show up.
Yeah, and that's going to be their downfall. Like if they keep on that and just don't correct themselves. And this is like where I think that if James Gunn can keep a level head, like I think DC's going to start outshining Marvel.
They're going to start after Blue Beetle, because yikes, that movie looks like Shazam, but with Blue Beetle instead.
Dude, freaking, I will drive down to Florida and we will fight it out because Blue Beetle looks awesome.
It looks okay. Like, I will certainly go and see it. But I'm like, all right. I see what you're doing here. I see. I don't know. It's funny that for as many times as people complained about origin stories, like they're like, well, I mean, we have to do it for someone with like the Blue Beetle. Do you? Do you have to? Does he have to be the bumbling idiot at the beginning, or can you just have him in media res where he's already fighting crime or whatever the Blue Beetle does? Like, I'm not saying that's the right or wrong way to go. I'm just saying that like I remember a time when origin stories were like the death. They're like, dude, we've seen it 100 times. We don't need to see another Batman. We don't need to see another Spider-Man. We don't need to see another Iron Man. We don't need to ... And now they're like, he got a gift, and now look at that, a beetle bit his face, and now he's a beetle man. He's a Beetleborg. Look at him.
I will say this, for more popular characters, I agree. I don't think we need an origin story for them, but Blue Beetle's not a big character.
No, but okay, one thing the Captain Marvel movie did that was really good, I really liked how they like kind of had her come to fruition. You know what I mean? Like they kind of slow rolled her origin. It wasn't just like, oh, I found this cool haircut and I put it on and suddenly I was a Captain Marvel. Like, it was, the whole thing was the origin story, which was good. I don't know. I think I am one of those guys that's like, what, you find a box and you open it and it lands on your face and you're a thing now? Like, all right. Just be the guy. Like, we don't care. There's a Superman. Who cares at this point? You have a cool suit.
Well, I think that's what's interesting about, like, with Blue Beetle. I think he has a little bit more to add, where it's not just a hero, where it's not him just getting something and learning how to use it. It's he gets the beetle. The beetle is programmed to conquer the Earth, like, for this alien species that sent it to Earth. Like, it's supposed to prepare Earth to be
destroyed. Yeah,
destroyed and protect its host. And so it's this kid, Jaime Reyes, to like trying to teach this sentient beetle not to destroy shit.
Listen, I'm going to see the movie, but George Lopez, please put a different wig on that guy.
That was a horrible call.
That was a terrible wig. It didn't look good at all. It looked as fake as anything's ever looked.
Yeah, it was rough. Anyway, any other thoughts about the Marvels that we're not talking about anymore?
Really quickly, no, I just want to throw in that end credit scene that you were guys talking about with Steve and Sam. That was actually the end credit scene. I wanted to look that up and confirm.
Okay.
So,
and see, that's how you do it. That's how you go, what? Wait, there is still other stuff happening here. You can have that, because that was the heist movie. Like, that was, everyone's like, we got an Ant-Man heist movie, and they were like, oh, but also, look at that, we caught a man in a vice. Look at him.
Yeah. So I am particularly pumped for the 2 trailers that we got this week.
I'm pumped for one just because the other one, I don't know what the hell is going on in the other one.
Fair. All right. Well, I think that covers everything in news, so let's get into this week's headliner. for this week's headliner, we will be breaking down the Super Mario Bros. Movie. If you are new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final All Bros and Untrained Eye letter grade. The 8 categories that we score are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then we give our own personal score at the very end. All of those numbers get magically added up, spit through our algorithm, and give us a letter grade to compare this movie to others of a similar grade, as well as a percentage so we can see an official ranking. The ranking isn't really all that important. It is fun to see, though. But yeah, the important thing is the final letter grade. Before we get into this breakdown, though, we did post a question of the week in regards to this movie on our TikTok. I don't think we got any answers on Instagram, unfortunately, because we're still working on our Instagram popularity. But anyway, so for this movie, we asked the question, or it's actually more of a challenge than anything. We asked to cast your favorite Nintendo character, like their voice actor. And we actually got quite a few responses to this one, so I'm very excited. I will be skipping over the ones that are just asking or suggesting a movie for us to recommend.
Thank you. I noticed you did that last week. Appreciate.
Yeah, but I mean, still, thank you to everyone that commented. We do really appreciate it.
Let me speak for all of them. Do Stuart Little. Do Stuart Little now. Have you done that? Do that. Please use my comment in the thing. I want to be semi-famous. Goodbye.
Dude, I don't know if that helps with performance or anything. Because like a lot of the ones that do really well, I don't have anything tagged with them. But then there's like occasionally one that will do really well, so it's hard to figure out like what's what. So yeah. So let's see real quick. All right, so what's that?
No, really quickly before we read those, do you guys have a favorite Nintendo character you cast? Or if they're in the Mario movie, have they already been cast, and did you like?
Caleb?
My favorite Nintendo character has always been Mario. And no, I did not care for his casting.
Damn. Okay.
I don't think Chris Pratt's the choice here.
Can I just tell you?
We got so okay. So we're gonna be fighting in voice acting.
Okay, don't get me wrong. What? He did a decent job. Like he did a decent job, but I don't think it was like the choice.
No, listen, I stand by this. I don't know if we said this on the 93 Mario Brothers movie, but I would have loved to have John Leguizamo voice Mario in the I think him being like I don't know, he would have been a fine Luigi, but I think since there is no Bob Hoskins around, like, and we're not gonna let what's his face, the guy that did voice Mario, do it, that they put in for a second just to be a monkey, a dancing monkey. Wahoo! Hey man, no. I don't know. I would have liked for John Leguizamo to have been a part of this movie.
The way he's acted, I'm so glad that he's not in it. He's been such a sourpuss about it. He can honestly.
Well, it's because he wasn't invited to the party.
He doesn't have to be a sourpuss about it. Like, come on, man, grow up.
Listen, this is where I think where he might be misguided. Where he's like, we need Latin people to do it. Like, all right, maybe, but also like. I have always been a proponent. I saw this documentary a long time ago about, I can't remember the name of it, but it was about voice actors. And my opinion, since I've seen that documentary, is like, if you are already a big name actor, like you are a big action star, you are a Will Smith, you are a Chris Pratt, you are one of the many Chris's, Chris Pine, I'm sure there's another Chris,
Chris Evans.
like Chris Evans, like, let the people that do voice acting for a job do voice acting for a job. And especially with a movie like the Mario movie, you did not need, I'm sorry, like people say like, oh yeah, you needed the Chris Pines and stuff to do that, or Chris Rock. There's another one. You needed the famous Chris to be in it to sell this movie. No, you didn't. I don't know if you heard the news. Mario video games, they don't go down in price. Nintendo's like, we just charge full price forever, and you'll pay it because it's the Italian you love. So the same way, they would have come if anybody. Us three could have been Mario, Luigi, and Bowser, and they would have been like, we're coming still. We're going to come in the same numbers we came when it was famous Chris or when it was nobody DJ.
Yeah.
I think you just undersold yourself, Jay. Wow.
Okay. Slightly somebody, capital D, lowercase
No,
J.
DJ, you are a somebody. Don't let anyone ever take that away from you.
Oh, man, but dude, I agree. I think that at least with something as big as Mario, you do not need a big name actor to sell this movie. You just need a good voice. And I think they dropped the ball.
See, wow, we were really gonna. Because I actually thought Chris Pratt did a really good job. I actually really liked his voice.
He did a job. I agree. He did a job.
He did decent.
He
but
came
I
there
think
and
there
he
was
said,
better choices.
Yes. Now, the fair question, Caleb, because I actually don't have an answer, is who?
Who would you guess?
This is where I've been struggling a lot because the people that I've been thinking of, their voices are too deep. And that's where I think maybe like John Leguizamo wouldn't have been the right choice for Mario either, because his voice is a little too deep. Like you kind of, it's like,
no, I get it, because like before they had voices, like Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo being their voices wasn't weird because you didn't have anything to go off of. But I don't know because I'm
like my issue is like, do you pick someone from Queens, like with a Queens accent? Because like the thing is like whoever I choose, you need to change the mannerisms of Mario completely to like match that voice. And it's just
go ahead.
I think like Chris Pratt's voice worked with the mannerisms that Mario had.
All right, listen, we're just getting straight into acting. Listen to me. This
I shouldn't have asked this question.
I know this. Well, we asked this question, so
here's the thing, though. I was talking to Chris Wesky today, and I did come to this conclusion because I was also not a fan of Chris Pratt. But look at his voiceover pedigree, though. Like, what was his last big voiceover deal that he was Emmett in the Lego movie, which, people unanimously love. So, I mean, he's, on one hand, I don't think he's the right voice, but he's definitely the right guy because he has already been the thing that, like, children clearly loved. Because even if they didn't like Emmett, the actual character, like, people love the Lario movie, which is actually the Lego movie, which is what I was trying to say the whole time. People love the Lego movie. Everything is, in fact, awesome. So, I don't know. Like, I don't like Chris Pratt for it, but I asked you who you would cast because I don't know. I don't know who would actually be better than him, other than some no-name nobody. Or not even a no-name nobody, but just someone who is not a famous actor, but maybe a more famous voice actor.
It's hard because it's just thinking of who because you have to go a little more animated than anyone's typical voice. Like Chris Pratt, like it's just there's just like something different you have to do with your voice to play someone like Mario.
You know, it's funny because Seth Rogen said something that aggravated me to death, but now that we're talking about it, this is exactly what I was saying before. Like, it's that thing, you have an idea of what you think about it, and then you start talking about it, and it changes. Because Seth Rogen was like, it aggravated me to death, because he's like, I don't really do voices, so I just, like, went in there and just started talking, because that's what I do. So if people don't like that, then... oh well, like I'm Seth Rogen and I already got the paycheck. He didn't say that, but basically that is what he said. He's like, I mean, it already happened. I can't change it now. I don't do voices. I don't know what you want. And
no, like straight up. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, because I know exactly what interview you're talking about. Because he's just like, when the studio approached me, he's just like, I don't really do voices. So if you want Donkey Kong to sound like me, he's gonna sound like me. And apparently they were sold on that. They're like, yeah, we totally want Donkey Kong to sound like Seth Rogen. But
and that's it.
You have that, but I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off, DJ.
No. I'm doing the same thing. Go ahead.
You have that, but then you have a good thing that Seth Rogen did in this movie, that he fought really hard for them to. So I'm like, I love and hate you when it comes to this character.
Well, but then, so like the more that we're talking about this, and I think about Chris Pratt, like, I think maybe I just don't like Chris Pratt, the person doing it, and it aggravates me that it's him and not a voice actor. But like, really, if you think about it, like how he did Mario's voice, how else are you really going to do it? Like, he can't be over the top. He can't be like it was in the commercial that you see at the beginning. They're like, hey, what's the matter you? Gabagoo, ah. Like, it
dude,
can't be
that
like that
actually sold me on Chris Pratt really quick, though. That whole trailer. So, okay. So I was looking up for, like, because I had a guy in mind. I don't know his name.
Gabagool Pizzapopolis. Go ahead.
No. So, oh, man. I need to freaking find this guy real quick.
Because what made me start thinking about it is like the dude that voiced Sonic in the Sonic movie, like he was the perfect...
I don't know if he. Oh
no! I don't mean to be Mario. I mean like he was the perfect voice for Sonic. Like it was. I don't know that anyone could have done. I mean, I'm sure someone could have done it better or at least as good. But I think he did it as good as it could have been. The more I think about it, the more I don't know that. I mean, yes, a no-name person could have probably done the exact same thing, but like I don't know that his rendition of Mario's talking voice, is as bad as I once believed before we started talking.
I kind of brought this up just from the trailers when we were discussing that. I did feel like he was kind of mimicking what Bradley Cooper does with Rocket's voice, kind of copying that accent. Okay, so I found the guy that I would have cast as Mario.
Go on.
And this is I don't know how this is going to be received. I would cast Dan Fogler.
All right. Well,
Rose, you would know this guy. It's the guy who played Kowalski in Fantastic Beasts.
Fogler. I still don't know who it is. Dan Fogler.
All right, give me a minute.
I don't know his voice though. What am I thinking of the movies he's been in?
I don't hate that.
Right? He kind of has a balls. He kind of has a Kevin Smith-esque voice.
Yeah.
But he kind of has that New York feel to him, which is what they were kind of shooting for. He kind of like seems like he's played some Italian-esque characters, I feel. So it's just like he kind of has a little bit of everything. And I know he does voice work because I've heard him do some like he's been in a lot of shit. Like, okay, just looking through his IMDb real quick, he was in Mars Needs Moms. He was in Kung Fu
his
Panda.
His performance was heartbreaking.
Yeah, he was.
So
Let's see,
good.
Horton Hears a Who. Like, he's not unfamiliar with voice acting. Like, I want to see what character he played in.
I would like now my serious joke answer to be Andy Samberg, voice Mario.
Yeah. So that would be.
I like it, DJ. I like it.
He would be my choice for Mario.
Andy Samberg, it's on record.
Yeah. So what are you guys thinking for your fan casting?
Me? My favorite character has always been Luigi, and Charlie Day is perfect as his voice, so I got nothing to say. No changes for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's perfect, but like, I like Charlie Day so much. I don't know, because my nephews were the same. They're like, Charlie Day was Luigi? And they went from like not knowing it to being like, now that was their favorite voice. I'm like, was it? Or do you just love Charlie Day? Because everybody loves Charlie Day. But was he the best for Luigi? I don't know. Because by the way,
for how... Sorry.
No.
No, just for how Luigi's character over the years has been portrayed, he really is always scared all the time, especially in the Luigi's Mansion games. I feel that Charlie Day exuberates that or gives off that energy so well that it made complete sense for him to play Luigi. I mean, I'm sure that you could have probably gotten someone with more, I don't want to say vocal talent, because he has done more voiceover work. So just the way that I see Luigi, and just how, he's a scaredy cat. He doesn't really stand up for himself all that much, at least like when we're first introduced to him. I feel that Charlie captured that perfect.
I think it's just hard for me because like I played a bunch of Luigi's and Mario games and whatever, and I'm so used to them not really talking that like their voice I feel like should be like Mario, or
just a wah.
Yeah. And
dude,
so,
as much as I would love to have like the guy who actually voices them do a whole movie, I think that would have gotten annoying real quick.
Maybe, but I was just looking through the actors in that movie, and he also voiced Mario's dad, the guy that actually does the voice of Mario.
Did he really? I thought he just did that one like.
That's what I thought too, and I just looked, and it says Mario's dad and Giuseppe or whatever, or Giuseppe, yeah. So I don't think it would have been terrible. I mean, he does do like Mario, Luigi, Wario, or does he do Wario?
He does.
Yeah, he does. He does everyone.
Yeah. So
it is
it's not like
too.
It's not like he doesn't have a range. So
yeah,
touche.
So I had mine with Dan Fogler as Mario. Rose, you were perfectly fine with Charlie Day as Luigi.
Oh yeah.
What are you thinking, DJ?
I'll just say, just because I got nothing, Paul Giamatti for Mario.
Okay, jokes aside, that is someone I was considering, but I'm like, I don't know if he could have pulled it off.
Luigi, Paul, what are you doing?
He would have needed a different Luigi.
What about Paul Giamatti as Waluigi?
I think he would be a better Wario.
Thank you for that.
But what if they would?
Been saying...
But they would have cast Pedro Pascal as Wario.
Okay, spoilers for this. So, all right, we answered ours. So going through these answers real quick, and while we're at it, we might as well just talk about what our acting score is.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we kind of just did. So our first response is So Cool Robot said Morgan Freeman as Wispy Woods.
Already no. Instantly no. Like I don't even know what a Wispy Woods is, but
I don't either.
Have either of you played Kirby?
No.
Oh, like the tree?
The tree.
What? I don't know. I'm always hot and cold on Morgan Freeman because like I just saw a TikTok today that reminded me that like he dated his granddaughter for a while when she was like a teenager.
Like on purpose?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice.
Like, he's a creep. So, I don't know. Is it true or not? Am I just saying things like my nephew does about the Marianas Trench? I don't know. But I saw it on TikTok, so it must be true.
All right. Our next response comes from Mo_board, who said Pauline should stay as Kate Higgins. Rosalina should be voiced by Emily Blunt. And Daisy should be voiced by Kristen Chenoweth, which I know you guys would know. I think you'd know. I think you'd recognize her face. Did either of you watch RV?
No.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I disagree with that for Daisy.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Fair.
Sorry, man. I disagree with that. The one for Rosalina, though, that one's actually really good. I like that casting.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got Keckman69, who said
he was one of the first ones to get on TikTok. He's like, you know who I like? That Pepe frog. This handle's going to be funny forever. Go ahead.
So his casting was for Samus from the Metroid games, and they said Samara Weaving.
I don't know who that is, but as soon as you said it, I thought Sigourney Weaver. So you're wrong. It's Sigourney Weaver.
So, gosh, Samara Weaving is fantastic. So she was Ready or Not, the Ready or Not girl. She was in The Babysitter.
Santana, is that what you said?
Samara Weaving.
Now, is she any relation to Hugh?
Ooh, that is a.
I never thought about that.
It's her uncle.
There you go.
Oh.
Here's the thing, like I don't remember this lady's voice. Like I think that's my biggest problem is for like trying to recast it is like there's not a lot of people that I say have think of us having very distinctive voices. Unless you're talking like if we want to talk about singers with distinctive voices, and maybe that's what I should be doing instead of other actors. But as soon as you said Samus, I was like, oh, clearly it's Sigourney Weaver. Like, I can hear her voice. And
that would actually be a really good choice, though.
Yeah, that actually would be.
All right. Our next response is from Noah Kranjek, who said Wario, played by Pedro Pascal.
See,
I
was
wonder
going to
if
say...
he's saying that because Jack Black's it.
I like that because I feel like people immediately were like, was it Danny DeVito needs to be Wario? I do not agree with that at all. Like, I like Danny DeVito, but I don't think that's a good casting for that. I don't know what Pedro Pascal sounds like really, other than when he's behind a mask or a helmet. So, good luck to you, man.
Yeah. I think that's a good choice, but you'd have to have a killer Waluigi.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got a response from Cannon Park, who says Patrick Stewart as Kirby.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
That comment wins.
I wish they would do that. Like he does still make the like wah, like the little like almost like little kid noises, but when he talks, he's like hello,
dude.
My name is Kirby.
Okay, have you guys seen the
Logan?
Not Logan. It's
No, I just was saying it.
I forget what show it is. It might be
American Dad.
No.
Family Guy.
So it was a Family Guy episode where he's voicing the thoughts of Joe's baby.
Yes.
That's how I think they should do it. Where it's Kirby just makes like these really high pitched like normal like in-game voices, but then like when it like cuts to like him thinking, it should be Patrick Stewart.
They'll never know that the Wisp was almost Morgan Freeman, but I hate that guy. He's a creep. Number 1. Beverly.
So yeah, we had another response for Kirby from a Kyle Sun, who said whoever voiced Pikachu, which I think is a more like on point decision.
Oh, whoever voiced Pikachu. Man, all right, fine.
I think that'd be like the good outside voice decision, and Patrick Stewart would make the good inside voice decision.
Yeah. Wait, is he talking about what you're thinking of, or is he talking about Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, exactly. That's what my brain went straight to Ryan Reynolds.
So I'm assuming not, because he said I forgot her name.
By the way, Ryan Reynolds, I just realized I would cast him to voice Star Fox.
Ooh, I like that.
I actually like that too. All right, let's see. We have 2 for Bowser Jr.
Go on.
So the first one is from Nanashi, who says Justin Long.
What's the next one?
Damn.
The next one I think you're not going to like, because the next one is Tom Holland, but pitched up.
No, I was not a fan of how they did Toad on this, like, with Key My Key. So I don't know. I like Justin Long a lot. So if we're just going to give all the famous people all the parts in these movies, then why not Justin Long?
I mean, he's already got voiceover talent. He was Alvin and Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Was he really?
Yeah, he played Alvin.
That's weird.
In all 4 of those movies.
God, there's 4 of those movies?
Yes, there is.
Oh my God.
So this is probably a stupid decision, a stupid choice, but I think the perfect Bowser Jr. voice would be from Adam Devine.
Oh my God, you are 100% correct.
I like that, actually.
Hey, good news. There's no other choices. You got it in 1.
Bam, there we go.
We get Adam Devine, or Bowser Jr. is not in the movie.
Perfect. Dude, that's just who I thought, because I'm like, who's like young Jack Black, and that's like immediately who I came to.
And now I want Rebel Wilson to voice something. I don't know. I don't know what she would voice, but I want her to be in the movie.
King Boo?
That's
all I got.
Who would she voice? I don't know. Probably a Toad, but I want her to be more than a Toad.
She's Toadette.
Yeah, there you go. She's Toadette.
There's this. Game over. Oi, bruvs. It's me, Rebel Wilson.
Birdo.
Ooh. Yes.
Wow. Nintendo, like, just throw us a couple of those, like, new limited edition Tears of the Kingdom OLED Switches.
And we're even.
And we're good. Make sure you got a lot of eShop credit on there for the boys, and send 3 over to P.O. Box, Caleb's P.O. Box.
Oh man, dude, I love fan casting so much. But yeah, like I said, Wario and Waluigi would be a tough casting.
Wario and Waluigi, I feel like Andy Samberg is in that conversation at least.
I do think that he would be in that discussion.
Like
I could see it. He'd have to do a weird voice. Dude, oh my gosh, as much as I hate to say this, I think Adam Sandler.
I've never seen the Hotel Transylvania movies, but people seem to enjoy them very much, and he's not really doing an Adam Sandler-esque voice, I feel like. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's kind of like he's doing like a bit of an accent, but I just think about his like normal, like his crazy, what he's known for, the like high pitched like that voice. If he were to harness that energy and throw it into Waluigi, I think that would be perfect. But yeah, Andy Samberg is definitely choice number one for me, but I think Adam Sandler's a close number two.
Oh, he's a number two, all right. Hey, got him.
Oh, anyway. So that was all of our responses. So thank you to everyone that answered our question of the week. We really appreciate it. So I mean, while we're here and while we were discussing it, acting. Where are you guys sitting with acting?
All right. I mean, we have to talk about more than just Mario, though. Like Mario and Luigi. Like I don't feel like there was a whole lot to for these people. Like, you know, we talked about in the 93 movie how Bob Hoskins was kind of like a little bit relegated to the background because it was kind of Luigi's movie and didn't have a whole lot to do or say. Like,
yeah,
this movie felt a lot like a bunch of scenes put together so that you could see cool Mario stuff, and everything was kind of like my biggest thing that I was like, is when like she makes a big deal. She's like, there's another human here. And he's like, yeah, it's me. I'm looking for my brother. And she's like, well, I got this thing to do, and that's crazy that you're here. And he's like, I know it is crazy. I got to find my brother, like I just said one sentence ago. And she's like, well, go ahead and come with me. I'll train you. What? Like, you were born in this place? Like, I don't know. Like, they were just like, all right, come on. Like, all the lines felt like that. Like, all right, we need to spit these things out so we can get to the Mario Kart. Let's go already.
Yeah. Well, I think that's more of a writing issue than anything.
But what I guess I'll put that back to acting by saying, like, I don't feel like they had a whole lot to do in the way of acting, other than 3, that's right, folks, 3 slow motion Mamma Mia. They were like, this Mario guy really needs a catchphrase. What if we made it Mamma Mia?
I think they made it work all right.
I agree.
DJ,
is this going to be like a complete opposite of like, I'm all for this one and you're like completely against it?
Well, here's the thing is like, just to like give a general feeling about this movie, I feel like other than what you were like looking at, like what they showed you as far as like hint or Easter eggs and stuff, like this movie I feel like I would score it almost exactly like I did the 93 movie. Like, besides in maybe like effects, like not maybe effects, 1000%, it would be a different grade than in effects. But, yeah, it's like, I don't know. We'll talk about it. Acting, you guys give your score so I don't feel so bad about what I do.
Never feel bad, man.
That's Rose.
You know what? I am so genuinely curious to see if what you say is true that I'm pulling up our Super Mario scores, and I am not going to be telling you anything that you gave it to see if you would give it the same.
I mean, I think it deserves. Other than there are 2 specific categories where I think this movie did wildly better. But yeah, all right, fine. I'll even go first because, like, again, I'll just say it now. I had to be reminded by my good friend Chris Wutsky. That is the 3rd name check, Chris Wutsky. Good friend Chris Wutsky. Because I got out of the movie and I was like, I don't think I like this movie that much. Like, I like to look at it, but I don't think it was that good. And when I started to tell him that, and he was like, this was great. This was a great kids movie. And it like clicked. I was like, all of a sudden I remembered the like front 2 rows filled with children, like screaming the whole movie. Not the whole movie, but like the kids like, it's a Mario and he's doing the thing. And then it also dawned on me that, like, even though my nephews, like, they live with me now, like, they've lived with me when they were, like, older. So I didn't have to, like, deal with, like, Paw Patrol and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and basically stuff that was, like, directly geared at children. And this movie was, like, clearly made for the kids first, not for the nostalgia people. Like, there was stuff in the background for us, but this was, like, first and foremost a kids movie. And that put everything kind of in a different light for me. I'm like, oh, that's why I was saying before, I'm just the old guy now. Because I'm just like, this isn't what I expected out of a Mario movie. It's like, yeah, because you're too old, you old man. Stop being so old, maybe you'll like it.
Or stop beating up on yourself.
So, even though with everything I said, I'm going to give an acting score of an 85. How about that?
Okay.
Considering they did all of this over Zoom. They did it all over Zoom.
That's
Jack
the
Black
part that's
talked
insane.
about that. Like, it's like they didn't get to do any of it together. So, you know, for what they were able to pull off with this, like, I gotta give them credit.
That might have
because
been
wait, hold on. Let me just say this one last thing. Jack Black, amazing. Like, there's been no better casting for any voice ever than Jack Black to Bowser, because I did not know what to expect out of this, and it was chef's kiss perfect. You're never going to get it any better than you did with Jack Black. Him singing those songs, him singing that song, and they released the music video. Get out of my face.
Yo, did you hear that Universal came out and said that they can actually submit that to the Oscars for Best Original Song?
They better.
They have to.
Seriously.
It was amazing. It was like getting new Tenacious D. I was like, this is the best day of my life.
Oh yeah, that will definitely be reflected when we get to music.
Yes.
So DJ's at an 85. Where are you at, Rose?
I honestly, the only person like I maybe had a little bit of a problem with was Seth Rogen, and even he like decently sold me on him. I didn't absolutely hate him as Donkey Kong. So you guys might kill me for this. I'm at a 95.
Bold.
Listen, I said what I said about what Seth Rogen said. I said what I said about what Seth Rogen said. I'm sorry, guys. It's getting late.
Yes.
But him just talking was good. Like, I liked that as Donkey Kong. Like, it worked perfectly. So, there you go. Seth Rogen, I approve. You can continue on doing your thing now.
I'm a little bit lower than both of you. Well, actually, I'm more below DJ. I'm not like too much lower. I'm like maybe like an 82. I thought like all the performances were good. Chris Pratt, it took a decent chunk of time to get used to him, or just kind of to accept his voice. Because when they first get the introduction and they're in the commercial and they're doing the voice, I'm like, okay, like I get what this is. Like I figured that they were going to do something like outlandish like that. So I'm like, that helped sell the idea of Chris Pratt for me. And then like hearing him like normal talk was fine. It's just when he started getting into the catchphrases that were a little like funky for me, where anytime he said "Mamma Mia," I'm just like, dude, shut up.
Okay, I will say, there was one that, actually, maybe I'm not that. Because, no, Anna Taylor-Joy, don't get me wrong, I liked her as people, but she wasn't the best, in my opinion. I had some problems with her.
You're out of your freaking mind. Anya Taylor-Joy was a gem.
So, I'm going to go at 92.
I mean, listen.
Okay, hold up. Okay, we haven't done this yet. Who's your top 3 voices from this movie?
Who are we starting with?
I'll start.
Okay.
My number one is...
Listen, if there is not a unanimous number 1, it's been nice seeing you guys, and you can finish the show without me.
Oh, you all are going to hate me then.
There is a number 1, and every other answer besides the one that I tell you. Just kidding.
It's Keegan-Michael Key, right?
Yes, Key is right up top. No, let's see. Rose, Rose goes last. I'll say my 3.
I already know what Rose's is. It's probably Luigi first, then Bowser, then I'll put it between Mario or Toad.
You're close.
All right, now
Really?
I gotta know.
Okay, hold up. Which one did I get wrong? Was it the order that I got wrong?
Yeah.
It was the.
All right,
Ooh.
I gotta know now. No, say your piece, Rose.
Yeah, say your
So-
Now I
deal.
might have to fight you.
Number 1, Charlie Day.
Called it.
2, y'all are gonna kill me. I'm actually giving it to Chris Pratt.
You are out of your freaking mind.
Wait,
and then
who's
number 3,
Toad.
Jack Black.
Oh.
No.
That's insane. You're an insane person. Please record another episode of the Gacy Gazette. You have gone full crazy. Because Jack Black is in fact number 1.
Yes.
That is here now and forever. And
I told you guys you would not like my answer.
but I will say this, I'm gonna go, here's my monkey wrench. I'm gonna go actually Seth Rogen too, and I actually am gonna say, you know what? Fine, I'll do it. Mario 3. How about that?
You like
'cause
Mario
Rose, you
more
talk-
than Luigi?
Because here's the thing. I technically did, but one thing, again, I know we're not there in story yet, but I despised about this movie, and I will not go away from this, is why? Why split them up? Why? Like, let them be the Mario Brothers, please. Like, or they could have gone to Luigi's Mansion level together, and he could have met egads or whatever and got his little freaking thing and be like, I'll vacuum him up for you, Mario, and then on to the next thing. They didn't have to be like, hey, you get caught by some dry bones and then you live in a cage until the end. Like, no, I hated that. I really did. I did not want him. I didn't want them to split up, and I didn't want him to just kind of like be the side character that, honestly, I would like to see that movie. I want to see the Luigi movie where we just follow what happened to him to let him get to that cage. I don't know what the hell you asked me that led me down this road, but here we are.
It was top 3. But, okay, would you have liked it better had he escaped on his own and gone on like a Luigi's Mansion style adventure by himself?
No, I would have liked them to be together bantering. Like, because one thing I do think that the Mario 93 movie did right was keep them together for the most part. And like when they were like, you got more of a sense of when they were talking, like how much they cared about each other than I think you got in this movie. Like what you got was Mario being like sad that his dad is an a-hole and is like, you're bringing your brother down with you, and you can see Mario over there pouting, and that's why you have that feeling at the end when he's like, we're brothers. It's because Mario felt some type of way about what his dad said, and like Luigi didn't have really much to do with that at all, other than showing up and getting saved, or getting saved out of the cage. I don't know. They wrote the story. He didn't have to go away. They could have just stayed together the whole movie. And it could have been some other thing. But we're talking about acting. All that to say, Rose talked me up on Chris Pratt. Like, I was definitely down on the man, but the more we talked about it, the more I thought about it. I'm like, I don't know who could have done better besides a voice actor that I don't know the name of. So I don't know. I give him 3.
Yeah,
third place.
My top 3, I'm giving my number 1 spot to Bowser, of course. My number 2, I'm probably going to give to Charlie Day as Luigi. I actually really enjoyed his performance as Luigi, and everything that he got to do. Like I agree with you, DJ. I think he needed more to do, other than being in a cage. I would have liked to see him kind of do his own thing, and then like have them come together. But obviously, we didn't get that. Hopefully, we do in the future. Which, with how well this movie is freaking doing, I don't see that being a problem. So yeah, I'm giving it to Charlie Day, and then my number 3, I think I'm going to give to Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach. I loved her performance so much. Like, I thought she did such a good job at kind of having that regal, badass tone. And I'm actually really glad that they didn't make her like the victim in this, where it was like, oh, Mario, come save me. Like, where it was, they kind of flipped it a little bit. And this is kind of why I forgave the movie, where they flipped it, where it's like, hey, we need to save Luigi instead of saving Peach. It's like, we're saving Luigi and the Mushroom Kingdom. So technically Peach, but not. So I dug it.
I did too. Like, even though, like, I agree with you guys, I hated that Luigi got sidelined. But honestly, I was okay with it. It really worked for the story. And like, I get what you're saying. Like, I don't know, in my opinion, I feel the brother aspect was explored better in this one. Because I love, like, the little flashbacks that we get towards their relationship, especially, and oh my god, cute, with them as baby Mario and baby Luigi.
Oh, now, dude, that was
adorable.
an unexpected treat.
Right? So good.
That was fantastic. Dude, like, when I saw that they were doing like a flashback and I saw like baby Luigi, I'm like, no freaking way. Like, oh my gosh. And then like we got that little flashback of baby Peach. I'm just, oh
yeah, oh, so great.
Freaking epic. So yeah, freaking love that. So I think I think I already said that. We're giving it an 82. Or I'm giving it an 82. So now we can get into the story and writing. And if you've guys not seen this movie, we've basically gotten into spoiler territory already. So apologies for that and not giving a proper heads up. But yeah, Rose is about to spoil the entirety of this movie for you. So without further ado, everyone's favorite segment, Reading with Rose.
All right. Italian-American brothers Mario and Luigi have recently started a plumbing business in Brooklyn. Their father disapproves of Mario's decision to leave his steady job under his antagonistic ex-employer Spike. After seeing a significant manhole leak on the news, Mario and Luigi go underground to fix it, but are sucked into a warp pipe and separated. Mario lands in the Mushroom Kingdom, ruled by Princess Peach, while Luigi lands in the Dark Lands, ruled by the evil Koopa King Bowser. Bowser seeks to marry Peach and will destroy the Mushroom Kingdom using a superstar if she refuses. He imprisons Luigi to blackmail Mario, whom he sees as competition for Peach's love. Mario meets Toad, who takes him to Peach. Peach plans to ally with the Primate Kongs to help repel Bowser, and agrees to take Mario and Toad along. In the Jungle Kingdom, King Cranky Kong agrees to help on the condition that Mario defeats his son, Donkey Kong, in a fight. Despite Donkey Kong's strength, Mario defeats him using a cat suit. Mario, Peach, Toad, and the Kongs use carts to drive back to the Mushroom Kingdom, but Bowser's army ambushes them on Rainbow Road. When a Koopa general destroys part of the road, Mario and Donkey Kong plummet to the ocean and are eaten by an eel-like maw ray while the other Kongs are captured. Peach and Toad return to the Mushroom Kingdom and urge the citizens to evacuate. Bowser arrives aboard his flying castle and proposes to Peach, who reluctantly accepts after Bowser's advisor, is it Kamek?
Yes.
Kamek tortures Toad. Mario and Donkey Kong escape the maw ray by riding a rocket from Donkey Kong's cart and hurry to Bowser and Peach's wedding. At the wedding reception, Bowser intends to execute all of his prisoners in lava in Peach's honor. Toad smuggles an ice flower in Peach's bouquet, which Peach uses to freeze Bowser. Mario and Donkey Kong arrive and free the prisoners, with Mario using a Tanuki suit to save Luigi. An enraged Bowser frees himself and summons a Bomber Bill to destroy Peach's castle, but Mario knocks it off course and directs it into the warp pipe, causing Bowser's castle to be transported to Brooklyn. As they fight Bowser, Mario and Luigi grab the Superstar, become invincible, and defeat those. Bowser is shrunk with a mini mushroom and imprisoned in a jar. Mario and Luigi are celebrated by Brooklyn's populace, including their parents and Spike. In the aftermath of the battle, Mario and Luigi move into a new house together in the...
And that's the way the news goes.
All right. I think we can all agree that the story here was super simplistic, but kind of in the best possible way.
Agreed.
Dude, someone pointed out, everyone's bitching and complaining that the Super Mario story is just super plain and simple, yet Nintendo's been riding on the coattails of this red plumber dude saving the princess for years.
Okay, now listen, to advocate the devil for those people, the Mario games have never, you're not getting The Last of Us out of a Mario game, and you're also not looking for that there. So, I get it. I get that critique, but also it's that's not an excuse to be well, this doesn't have to be super deep. I don't think anyone was looking for War and Peace or whatever the current rep is. But yeah, there was a lot of story stuff. Again, until I was reminded that this is a kid's movie, I'm everything's happening because it has to happen. There's no reason for it to happen. It just is happening now. They're all right, we need you to go on to the next thing. All right, you are now. Why? Doesn't matter why. You are. It's happening. And so, yeah, I don't know. The story is absolutely not super deep, but it's serviceable. It's I don't know what you're going to expect from a kid's movie about Mario. Besides that,
I'll give you that. I mean, the story, out of everything, just kind of looking ahead, I think the story is the biggest downfall of this. It's simplistic. It's, like you said, it's not super deep. But it doesn't have to be. I think it makes up for it in other ways.
It gets the job done for what it sets out to be. I'm assuming that this is going to be the first of many Mario movies, just for Caleb touched upon how amazing this thing is done at the box office. It beat Frozen 2 for the biggest animated box office opening worldwide of all time.
Oops.
So I feel hopefully when it comes to sequels they can dive more into deeper plots. But for what they set out to do and explaining this world and the characters, they kept it very simplistic, but I was honestly okay with that.
Well, and they delivered on it set up and then delivered on a high level on moments. You got to see,
yes.
Dude, just the very beginning, whenever Bowser's ship rolls down and hits, and they're playing the Mario 3, Bowser ship music, I was immediately oh my God! Everything that happened that they wanted you to go, remember that this is a Mario thing. It was a Mario thing as hard as a Mario thing could be. So, in that way, yeah, the story wasn't super deep, but it set up those moments to happen perfectly. So you're all right, I'm seeing this now. This is a thing.
Dude, I love the nods to. That's a writing thing. I need to dial myself back. Story-wise, I think the movie had a really decent flow about it. It didn't feel like it got held up anywhere. If anywhere, I think maybe they were searching for they took a while to get to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Well,
it's not necessarily that. I think them feeling oh, we can save Brooklyn by fixing this pipe. Let's go. Going to do that. I think it's just they spent a little too long before jumping into the green pipe or getting sucked into the green pipe.
I think it just seemed like that because I got the same vibe from the beginning of this movie as I did from the 93 movie of like, Jesus Christ, are they going to do this or what? And then he gets in the pipe because it looked almost again like they were just going to be like, well, this is a green pipe, but it's not the green pipe. And then he gets sucked in there. And I was like, okay, thank God. Like they're going right now. Like we're not going to screw around anymore. It's time to go.
Yeah. Like I said, if it was anywhere, it was there. But the rest of the movie, I think, had like super solid flow. Maybe even a little too quickly paced at times. But I think they handled it pretty well.
See, I was okay with, like, it took a little longer to get to, like, I get where you guys are coming from, but taking a little longer leading up to the green pipe, because even though it's set up in the games, I like that they took a little, or at least tried to take a little longer setting up the relationship.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily that part. It was like seriously once they were like down in the pipes that I was like, okay, like let's freaking speed this up. Before that, I was freaking all in.
Okay,
like I thought they did a really good job with that stuff.
By the way, you'll never convince me that them going from the real world to the Mushroom Kingdom, that whole thing was not an homage to the 93 movie of like, this is what you were trying to do whenever they were going through that weird psychedelic nightmare that led to the Mushroom Kingdom. Like, this is what you saw in your head, and now we're going to give it to you. Here you go.
Dude, that's what I felt about the nod with the, I took it as a nod with the van, like breaking down, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta run, like run that way," and so that like they did their whole like little run through, fix the pipes and everything, and like I love just the tiny little things that they did with this, where with the pipes exploding, where they have to like. Where they plug a hole and then another hole pops up. I'm like, that's straight out of the games, dude.
Yeah.
Like they incorporated that so well. Like everything they did with this was so freaking good. And again, I think that's more of a writing deal. So I don't have anything else like story wise other than like some of their incorporations of like, I love that they took some of the things that like Mario gets made fun of for and kind of ran with that, like the whole Bowser being in love with Peach thing. Like I don't think that's ever been like a thing other than like or like that one. What was it, Odyssey?
I was gonna say that was their outfits were right out of Odyssey, like
right,
because that was his whole jam as he was trying to marry Peach.
Yeah. So like, did they incorporate like because I haven't played Odyssey? Did they incorporate in that that Bowser was like in love with Peach, or was he just okay?
Yeah, I mean, not to that extent. Obviously, he wasn't out there writing ballads, but he he was. That was his whole thing, because he wanted to. So yeah, I don't know if it would fall under story either, but or maybe this is writing, but like I really did like. At the end, when maybe this is writing, but when they're going to like go for the star, and the brothers, they both touch the star at the same time, and then that sting of the frickin' the invincibility star song hits, and then you see them through there, and they're like, let's go. I was like, all right, you got me. Let's do it. Frickin' beat his ass. Let's go.
Oh man, dude, that was such a good freaking like powerful moment too, because like you think Mario's like done for, like he's on his last life, like let's
do this together.
Yeah, but like he's like scrambling, and then like freaking Luigi comes in with the freaking power move save, and just like, we got this, bro. That was the shit, dude. Like I got so pumped up. Like if there was any moment that like really connected those two, it was that.
Yes. Well, in fairness, it was like one of the only moments they got to be together.
True. But still, like, I think, I don't know, it was, I think that, like, they did a really solid job overall with the story. Where are you at? Where are you guys at?
Roses.
No, just for the simplicity of it, like, I get, like, why it's about why it's so simplistic like that, but for the first Mario movie, I feel it won't have that many problems with it. So honestly, I would.
That's actually, I was gonna go 85 again too. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's freaking unanimous on 85 there. Like, I thought they did fantastic with that. Moving on over to writing, this is where I feel the movie excelled. Dude, the writing was genius. I freaking loved my favorite joke out of this whole movie was when they get to the castle and the freaking guards are just like, she's in a different castle. Like, sorry, guy. Like, the princess is in another castle. Like,
now, was that a reference whenever Toad was like, started cooking for them and was like, I got him, you can go, hurry up, Mario, go. Because, like, I was like, wait, is that a thing that, like, Toads are, like, super distracted by food or something? Like, that was one of the only seems like a reference that I'm like, if this is, I don't get it at all.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Or if that's just, like, again, one of those, like, kid movie things where they're like, a kid would be like, of course they wanted to eat the food. They were hungry. They've been guarding that door all day. You know, like a kid would be hungry.
Because Princess Peach doesn't believe.
So
there's the Toads.
So technically that Toad was based off of, I guess, Captain Toad, the treasure tracker. So I
Keegan-Michael Key's Toad, you mean?
Yeah, that's okay. What I'm that's my guess.
Oh, so that might have been like his jam to, like, so when he's doing all his trekking, he'll sit down and cook for himself.
I guess. I'm not finding anything that's specifically stating, like, oh yeah, like Captain Toad's eating or whatever. It's just that's just who this was, like, loosely based off of. So I don't know if that was a reference to anything. It might have been, for all I know, but I loved all the other little reference. Like, you got references from everything. Like, freaking Mario 3D World. You got stuff from, like, just the classic game. Like, when they're, like, trying to run to that job, and Mario's, like, opening up all the gates and shit for Luigi, but he gets to the end and it's like a castle arcade place, and he jumps on the flagpole, it spins down. Yeah. Like, just classic freaking Mario.
Dude, I want to say what? No, go ahead.
No, just really, when they're doing the whole Mario Kart thing and Mario does, like, the power slide and gets the boost. Oh, I lost shit.
That was amazing. Like, I saw that and I was like, wait, did everyone get that? We all got that, right? His okay. That was awesome too. Like, when they were building their carts and they got to, pick it like you normally would, like, in the game. They're like, oh, I get to pick the wheels and the body and the whatever. I liked, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. Again, fourth name check, Chris Wutsky. I expect you to tell me all about how you love this episode. There was, I think it was the place where they were meeting Spike at, I think, or not meeting Spike, but where they saw Spike at, where it had, like, Glass Joe and, like, all the people from, like, Super Punch Out, or I'm sorry, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, like, up on the, like, hung up on the walls.
I heard about that. I didn't catch it, but
what was it? I didn't even catch. I saw that Mario was playing Kid Icarus after he got in that little argument with his dad, but I did not or maybe I did, but I don't remember noticing the R-Wing from Star Fox. He had like a little statue of over his TV as well, which again I always think is so weird in movies. Like, so Nintendo exists in this world, and so does Star Fox and all this other stuff, but not Mario. But Jumpman. Jumpman exists, but not Mario. Like, what a weird thing. Like, is the next movie, if the next movie is not like, hey, Mario, I love your game, and they're playing Super Mario Bros., then I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Dude, if they have it where Mario's a video game, that'd be the shit.
It'd be so trippy.
Oh, like, yeah, we listened to this crazy story he told about eating mushrooms and getting big or whatever, and we made this video game.
Dude, the freaking Easter egg videos that I expect to see when this movie comes out on digital better be like 5 hours long.
You know they will be.
Like, that's gonna be insane, because it was just Easter egg after Easter egg after Easter egg, and freaking nuts. Like, and it's like,
sorry,
yeah, even like some of the shit that they just kind of like glanced over were Easter eggs. Like, I love how everyone's like chanting for Donkey Kong, and then Cranky's just like, all right, everyone shut up, and then you just hear DK DK, like, shut up, Diddy.
Yeah, that was great. By the way, I didn't notice the girl one. I can never remember her name, but she was apparently sitting right next to him. Then I did not see that at all.
I didn't.
Yeah, but like, so both of the people from the Donkey Kong games,
huh?
Like, there's another character. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can find,
like, playable character or just character in the.
I've played as them, or I recall playing as them.
And what was the dude's name?
Funky Kong.
With the one
Funky
with the
Kong was right
sunglasses?
next. Yeah, he was the one in the white tank top, the bandana. So that was like right next to Diddy.
Yeah. Wait,
so Diddy was in the middle. Funky was next to him, and then Dixie Kong was on the other side.
Dixie Kong.
Yeah, and then Cranky was obviously the king in Donkey Kong.
What was the name of the guy that voiced him? I can see his face.
Diddy?
No, Cranky.
Oh, Fred Armisen.
There you go. By the way, always glad to hear Fred Armisen. A waste of Fred Armisen. Should have had more Cranky Kong. If you get Fred Armisen, you get him to do more than a handful of lines.
You totally freaking agree there. Yeah, I can't think of like any writing in this that I disliked.
Yeah, no, I don't know if that's what I was describing before when I said everything led up to like these perfect moments in the if that counts, if that's writing or story, that like the perfect setup.
I think that's more of a writing thing than anything. So I'm pretty high on this. I think I'm like a 92.
I was going to say 91.
All right. We already got acting. Moving on to character development, which obviously we do this based off the Mario Bros.
LOL again. 1993 style character development where there is none.
Yeah. I think the only bit that you can maybe claim is that Mario has this
person. No, only one person in this movie had any character, like any arc, anything, and that was, say it with me, everyone, a Donkey Kong.
Luigi.
Donkey Kong went from being this like smarmy ass to being like, all right, I guess this little human man can beat me, and I'll become like a better ape for it. Where everybody else was like, I know I'm better than everyone thinks I am, and look, I am better than everyone thinks I am. The end.
Yeah, I think this is where the movie suffers a little bit too. It's just development-wise, like they don't really go anywhere. Like, look, And unfortunately, I think Luigi he stays the same for the most part. Like he's always like right there with his brother.
He's the supportive younger brother. Like he's like, nah, you could do it. And then at the end, he was like, nah, you could do it, except I'm in a cage.
Yeah, I think like his whole thing was just like finally accepting, like, yes, like we can do it together. And I don't even think it was something he needed to accept. It's something he already like believed wholeheartedly.
Well, yeah, because that was his thing. He's like, don't listen to Dad. That guy doesn't know anything. You're not bringing me down. I make my own choices. I'm not just Green Mario. I'm Luigi.
That's something I feel like they could have explored a lot more. Like how, like having Mario feel that guilt for bringing Luigi down.
Well, again,
or whatever,
like everything, all of the like dialogue was just, it was just getting in the way of them doing Mario. Like they're like, all right, listen, is this enough? Do you feel like they're brothers? All right, come on, gotta go. We got a Mushroom Kingdom to save or whatever. Come on, hurry up.
Yeah, pretty much. I think they could have done a decent dive into that aspect. Like, I think they could have still done the separation, but have Mario feel maybe a little bit more guilt about dragging Luigi into this.
Yeah, he did have like a couple tender moments. He's just like chilling with the princess, like, this mushroom place is pretty crazy. Hey, bro, I thought you were like all bent out of shape about your brother. Freaking hurry it up. Let's go, man.
You do for sure. So, I mean, character development wise, I don't think it was anything special. Like, honestly, this is probably like my lowest area.
Is this out of 10 or out of 100?
This is out of 100. It's only music and costumes that are out of 10.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. What would you consider like, I don't know, like, I wouldn't consider it like a fail, but it's definitely like, what is neutral when they just do nothing? Like they go
75.
nowhere. 75 it is for old DJ.
I might go a couple points higher. Like I'll be at like maybe a 77, but it's not, and that's seriously only because of that one moment of Mario like getting called out by Bowser while he's in that diner or whatever, and he's like sitting there like looking at himself, like having that moment, just like, okay, we can freaking do this.
You know, like I've always said.
Yeah. Again, like I think that they could have capitalized on that, like had it be a bigger moment.
I am a couple points higher. For what we did get, I really good. Like they didn't necessarily have character growth because, yeah, like you guys said, like the the brother dynamic was already established before even the movie started, and they just added to it. But what we got, I really, really enjoyed it, especially their reunion towards the ending. I thought that was very heartfelt. Like honestly, like I almost, not to sound like a wuss, but like I actually almost started crying. It was really sweet.
Listen, it was in my opinion, that moment was super like unearned, but my body and brain was like, they're brothers.
So,
yeah.
80.
So, all right, moving on over to effects, which with this being an animated movie, it is talking about the animation.
100.
Oh my god! I can agree with DJ on that.
I'm at 100.
I don't know what.
Beautiful.
What else do you do for this? It's 100. It is 100.
Seriously.
Any other answer is incorrect.
It was beautiful. There wasn't a single scene.
I knew Illumination could do good animation, but they just freaking topped themselves with this.
No, this was like, what do they say about like a well-shot movie? Like you can pause anywhere and it could be a painting. Like you could pause anywhere in this movie and you could hang it up on your wall. Like it looked, it looked beautiful. So,
dude, no joke. So I took my daughter to go see this, right?
Did she lose her mind when she saw this? Like, was she losing her mind?
She actually really liked the movie.
No, I mean like in
Like-
a good way. Like
Oh.
I mean like was she just like, "Oh my god, Dad, it's Mario."
So she doesn't really know who Mario is. She's
What is
only
it?
3.
I bet if you asked her who Mickey Mouse was, she would be like, "I know exactly who
well,
he
that's a
is."
given. I don't own.
Miska.
No, it's if you ask who Bluey is, that's who Iris is really going to know. Who.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. Listen.
And
I
mean
don't
that, like,
own any
very
Nintendo
nice. Love it.
consoles.
Also a shame, Caleb.
I know. I
Bro,
know.
How do you?
I know.
Not like
Di-
own like a Switch Lite or something like that.
Dude, you're freaking telling me. Like I know I need to get one, but I don't own any Nintendo consoles. I don't watch any Mario content or anything like that. So the only thing she knew about Mario was like from the first trailer. I was just like, "Hey, we're gonna go see that movie," and she's just like, "Yeah." And then when I told her like, "Hey, we're gonna go see a movie," what movie? Mario. And then I played it for her again, and she's like, "Oh, Mario."
The Red Man.
Yeah. So, yeah, she enjoyed it. Like there was stuff that made her laugh, and she did get a little freaked out about the dry bones scene.
Fair.
Listen, they did that exactly right. That was really good.
Yeah, I was just like, "Oh shit, oh no!" Like I was trying to like distract her. I'm like, "Look over here," but she was like invested, and she kind of got a little freaked out, and so I just played it off like, "Oh look, they broke," and she's like, "Oh ha ha."
Guys, don't let him lie to you. He took his phone out and was like, "Nobody worry, this is fine. It's my kid. Here, look at this phone."
DJ is so
Dude,
salty about that.
I would
love
never.
Why don't you text your mom and tell her how scared you are? Oh, Dad's letting me watch scary movies.
Dude, but the one thing that I'm super bummed out about, so she's potty training and she's like hasn't had any accidents, and so
Until
it was so she hasn't had any accidents, and that's the problem. She I put her in a pull up and everything. I'm just like, listen, like just this time it's fine. But she was getting on me. She's like, "Dad, I have to go potty," and I'm like, can you hold it?" And she's like, "No, I have to go now," and I'm like, "Damn it." And it was the scene where they're finally on the Rainbow Road and they're just about to get ambushed. And I'm like, and she's like, "I need to go potty," and I'm like, "Damn it." So I pick her up and she's like, "I want to walk," and I'm like, "No, I'm not dealing with this." And so I pick her up, haul ass downstairs, let her go potty, clean her up, come back, and I get back into my seat and finally start watching as soon as Mario and Donkey Kong are falling into the water. So I missed all the cool shit.
He missed the blue shell.
I know.
Oh my God, you missed hell.
I did miss the blue shell, and I was so bummed out about it because I turned around and I see an explosion, and I'm like, "Oh, that was a blue shell explosion!" And so I freaking charged up and got back to my seat, and I was just like, and then it was fun because I put her down, and she's just like, "Daddy, that was fast," and I'm like, "Yeah," and she's like, "You're like a superhero." I'm like, a superhero wouldn't be out of breath, but thanks, baby.
Yeah, never forget this thought. I am a superhero. You'll never beat me, and I will beat up all your boyfriends. Anyway, enjoy this movie.
Yeah, but everything else that I saw, and I'm, like I said, bummed out that I missed that scene, but everything else I saw was beautiful. There wasn't a single thing in here that I thought looked ugly.
You know what's funny? It's always hilarious to me because, I do not have an eye to see crazy things that happen, but it's always funny to me to see the people that are like, "Did you notice in Frozen when Elsa's arm passed through her own head or whatever?" And I'm like, "I did not see that." And then they show it, and then you're like, "Where is it?" And then they point to it and they put it in slow motion. I'm like, "Oh, that's wild that you saw that. Thank you, I guess." But so I'm sure something like that will come out with this, but maybe not. I don't know. This seemed pretty solid.
Dude, Nintendo didn't seem like they were messing around with this movie.
Well,
No.
and that's the other thing that made me kind of like be a little more forgiving of this story is like they were after the 93 thing. They were not. No one was deviating at all. Like, you're doing what we say or you're not doing it. There is going to be no movie if you don't make it exactly how we say you make it. So, that kind of sucks, but that's fine. It looked amazing.
Dude, this whole thing was a complete and utter departure from what Illumination usually does. Like, Illumination, I feel, relies real heavily on, like, fart jokes. And there wasn't a fart joke to be found in this movie.
It was really nice.
It was great. Like I said, everything looked incredible. Like, cannot say enough good things about how it looked. So, I mean, I'm at 100. I know Rose wasn't joking when he said he was at 100.
Neither was I.
Okay. Glad we agree. All right, next up we got music. And
Hey.
holy shit.
10. Just so we're all clear. Not a joke. 10. It's a 10.
Yeah.
You can't convince me it's not a 10.
Not just because of the Peaches song, but the freaking Mario Brothers rap during the commercial.
Dude, the Mario Brothers rap, the again, all the like stings that went back when he sees the castle and they do the like light sting of the Mario 64 thing, like I said, the music whenever they touch the star at the end and they do like the epic version of that, like none of it missed.
Dude, and then they had some like good songs too, like freaking the "Holding Out for a Hero" playing that during Mario's like training sequence.
I
Like-
even didn't mind the "No Sleep Till Brooklyn."
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Yes.
dude, they like. Oh my gosh, like that was incredible. Like every way that they were to incorporate every single Nintendo song was flawless. Like when they were down in the sewer and you just hear the nah nah nah. Like it's so subtle,
Yes.
but you catch it if you're like really listening for it, and
Yeah.
it works so freaking well.
And I know it's not technically a sound effect, but when they had the dude that voices Mario playing the like little Jumpman thing, and he like gets up and jumps in the position, he's like, "Wah! Wahoo!" and just does the noise. Like, it's, again, I was so happy. I wish they had done more with him, but I was just happy to hear OG Mario's voice make it into that movie. I say OG, he didn't have a voice until that guy, right?
Yeah,
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 he's always
so-
been the voice of Mario.
he has and will always be the voice of Mario,
Yes.
or I guess in the
Until
video
you get
game world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, dude, music was on freaking point, and they did it so elegantly. That's what got me. Is they could have just been like, okay, whatever, we got the music, just throw it in there. But it's like they did it super subtle. It wasn't like super direct, but they were able to incorporate like little subtle ways, just so like you could hear it if you're listening for it, but it's just, I don't know, like a little Easter egg for your
Yeah.
ears.
It was good. Yeah, because it was, they did, I feel like, they didn't use any like one-for-ones. Like they reorchestrated everything for which again, just very good.
Yeah, so I have absolutely no issues giving this a 10. Everything, like, after I was leaving, I was humming little Mario tunes and, and all that good stuff. So I was very pleased. All right, next up we got costumes, which for this is more character design.
God dang it, dude! This is gonna get way higher than I thought. It's also top of the line, right? Like they did,
Oh, yeah.
they didn't do anybody dirty at all.
Everything looked so good.
This also has to be 100, right? Like, can it be anything less than that?
I don't think
Not
so.
that I can think. No. Dude, it was flawless. All, like, the characters adapted so well. And I think it helps that they haven't had to work from scratch when it came to, like, a 3D model.
Yeah.
They
already had a structure because they've been making 3D Marios for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously updated it a little bit to fit a little bit better for their animation style, but it looked great. Yeah, like I was thinking even when they had their hats off, like I thought maybe that would look a little bit funky, but that looked good too.
Oh, that did. Yeah. Like, holy shit. That took me by surprise of how good it looked.
I will say the only thing, and I'm not even going to dock for it because it was just so minuscule. The only thing that threw me off and made me be like, ugh, was when they took their gloves off.
Okay, yes. When they took their gloves off, I was like, what are you thinking?
I know, it's like watching Mickey Mouse without his gloves.
Yeah, I was like,
I appreciate though that they explain like why they have them.
No, they definitely did.
That was
but,
funny.
Like, don't let me see your human hands. Get out of here with your freaking human hands.
Oh shit.
Which, by the way, there is also precedent for Mario and Luigi's hat coming off, because I don't know if it happens in any other game. Well, I know it happens in Mario 64, but it happens a lot too in Odyssey. Like, you can just straight up lose your hat. And you're throwing your hat too, because you've got Cappy. So you're seeing him with his hat off a lot. But yeah, human hands. No, why didn't they just take their shoes off too? Why didn't we see them in their jammies and their little toes stretching out? Like, get out of here. No.
Yeah, that would have been odd. But, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to dock for that because it was just such a small part of what this movie was. But it was expertly crafted. Everything looks so good. Like, I can't think of a single character that I think, like, looked bad. Like,
no.
All of Peach's costume changes looked good. All the Yoshis looked amazing. Bowser looked amazing. The Koopas, Goombas, those weird little not spiky shell guys. Like, everyone looked good. And I will say this, I'm really glad with happy with what they did with the blue shells. Actually giving it a personality and like a Koopa version.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Really good.
That was so cool. And all the extras too, like the Mario family looked great.
Yeah, it was. I gotta tell you too, though. Again, it was weird. I was ready for them to be orphans again. I did not expect to see them have a whole big family.
I'm kind of glad that they do.
I am too. I mean, it definitely helped them have that thing of like, you're a terrible brother, Mario. You're ruining your brother's life, Mario.
Yeah,
you're not the star of this show, Mario. Why are you acting this way?
But yeah, so good. So freaking good. All right, last up we got our own personal scores. Rose, you want to take this one first?
Sure. Yeah, overall, God, I loved this movie. This was such a great adaptation, such a great introduction to the story is simplistic, but for a Mario movie, I feel it works so well. The characters are absolutely there, how they should be portrayed. The animation is so gorgeous. The voice acting is really... I have very few problems with this one. So, I'm going to be at a 90, a solid 90.
All right, DJ, what do you think?
I'm not going to lie, like, I don't know that I can add too much to what Rose just said, because I feel about the same way, and I'm going to split the difference between what Rose said about this movie and what I said about the 93 movie, and give this a 93.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I have been. Listen, I came in as a cynical old man, and now I am realizing I need to be more childlike and.
How the hell is everyone higher than me?
I know.
Okay, wait a minute.
So
okay, no.
Hold up, I haven't talked about my score yet. Shut up.
Sorry, I had to bump myself up. Kiss my ass. I had to bump up a little bit.
Dude, freaking! This is exactly why I make you go first.
Sorry, man.
So I'm giving it a 91. I loved this movie. I thought it was so much freaking fun. It felt like I was like in the video game. And like that's exactly what I wanted going into this. I didn't feel like everything needed like some crazy explanation, and we didn't get that. Like I think it worked perfect. Like all these like little like the mystery boxes, I was wondering like how are they going to incorporate those? They didn't feel out of place whatsoever.
Mm-mm.
Like I think they easily could have, but they didn't. It was great. I loved that they incorporated like, oh, you get this power, but if you get hit, you lose it. Like that was just a stroke of genius. I'm just like, like they went exactly where video game movies need to go. You either need to go like the route of like The Last of Us, where it's just a decent adaptation, like not a 1-for-1, or like this, which is exactly a 1-for-1, and just adding some like extra stuff. And this is exactly where I feel Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was. Like that felt like a decent 1-for-1. And it worked, like I said, worked incredibly well in its favor. Nothing that I disliked about this movie at all. So yeah, I'm giving a 91.
What was I going to say? I don't know if you guys heard this, but I heard that I don't know if anything's been announced, but I want to say Nintendo was like, hey, stay on the lookout for new Mario properties to be coming out in the next, whatever time frame. I don't
like
remember
movie wise.
No, it seemed like video game wise.
Ooh.
So I wonder if, like you were saying, like this seemed like a 1-for-1. Like maybe we will get to play some kind of weird version of this movie. Well, I'll get to play it. You won't. You can watch videos on YouTube, and I'll play it in real life.
That kind of is how I have to take in my the content for the consoles I don't have. But
listen, before I got a PS4, that I watched the entirety of the newer like God of War games. Like when that first one came out, when he had the kid, I just watched the whole thing. Just watched somebody play the whole entire game because I'm a loser.
I did it with both that one and Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was pumped. I found a YouTube. There's a YouTuber that I watch, and he has the exact same play style that I do, and so it's nice to watch him. And he doesn't like narrate through like the cutscenes, which is fantastic.
God, if you're out there and you're listening and you're like, I want to start a gaming YouTube channel, stop with the chatter. If there's nothing happening, yap away. But God in heaven, if they're saying something, shut your dumb trap.
Yeah, like he'll make like little comments, like if there's something going on, he's like, oh wow, like he'll make that, but then he'll like save it for after the cutscene, or he'll pause it and be like, whoa, did you know this, and this? Like super crazy, and then he'll get back to it. But he doesn't do that very often. He usually lets the cutscene play out.
By the way, for those of you looking at how long this episode is, how hilarious is it that the guy who talks the most is like, enough with the yapping.
Yeah, that's
man. But anyway, so that with all of that put in, going through our categories real quick. Also, DJ, you were
Sir.
significantly nicer to this movie than you were Super Mario Bros.
Yep, I knew it as soon as I gave the first 100. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be different than I thought.
Yeah.
But listen, I gotta be honest. I think I was very honest with the 93 movie, and I think I was very honest with this movie as well.
Yeah. All right. So starting off with our story, it averaged out to an 85. Our writing got a decent bump, sitting at a 91.67. Our acting took a bit of a dive, but still higher than our story, sitting at an 85.67. Our character development was our lowest category, and that ended up averaging to a 77.33. Our effects were 100. Our music was a 10 out of 10, and our costumes were a 10 out of 10 as well. And our personal score ended up averaging to a 92. So, with all of that, the final All Bros letter grade for the Super Mario Bros. Movie is...
Sorry.
an A minus.
Holy shit. That's awesome.
It barely cracked it, dude. Oh, actually, no.
Yes.
That's not true.
I was gonna say,
I forgot our cutoff was 90, but it's...
So
yeah,
what,
so it's
go ahead.
sitting at a 91.45.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. So that's a lot higher than I thought it was going to be.
That makes me so happy.
Dude, same here. So I'm excited to see where this one ended up. Ooh.
You gotta say what beat it first.
Okay. So, like we said, this is sitting at an A minus. So all of the movies that I'm about to talk about are A minus movies. So we're just going to go five above, 5 below, and then what the a full percentage difference looks like. So starting off with what it's below, it is below The Batman, which is at a 91.62.
Correct.
It is below Logan, which is at a 91.81.
Also correct.
It is below Our Friend, which is at a 92.12. It is below The Eternals, which is at a 92.25.
Wait a second. Was I part of the Eternals?
Knew that was coming.
Yeah, I knew that one was coming too.
Hold the hell
no,
on.
you were not. You were not a part of The Eternals.
Listen to me. The Eternals was not the hot pile that people like to believe that it is. The Eternals was a good movie. Was it better than Logan and the Batman? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would take one above the Super Mario Brothers movie, but damn it, son. It is, hey man, we found the flaw. You've been saying all these years there's no flaw in our system. We found it. It's the Eternals.
All right, we'll talk about this after, because I thought the same thing, but I corrected myself. Anyway, it is also below Elvis, which was at a 92.31.
I gotta watch Elvis because I can't believe that it's better than Logan and the Batman. Like, those two movies are objectively maybe the best things that I've seen with my eyeballs. So I gotta watch Elvis. It doesn't deserve to be there. You really got me messed up with the Eternals, dude. I can't handle this.
Dude, again, so the difference between Logan...
It's wrong. Everything you're going to say is wrong. Everything you're going to say is wrong.
The difference between Logan and the Batman is 0.2%, okay?
Okay.
The difference between Eternals and Logan... Hold on, I'm doing some serious math here. Is less than 0.5%.
Yeah, again, wrong. Like, it's all wrong. Like, there's no version of math.
Okay,
you can.
If I say this,
currently.
if I say Logan and the Batman are an A- movie, yay or nay?
Yes, but that's
if I
not
say
what you're
the
saying.
Eternals is an A- movie, yay or nay?
Again, that's not what you're saying, though.
it's the percentage. Dude, I cannot stress how much we
are wrong. I get it.
I know.
You cannot express how wrong you are. It's
man.
okay. You did it. You did one bad. I thought it was Shazam 2 Electric Boogaloo, but actually Black Adam. But no, you did Eternals wrong. There's no way. Caleb, when have I ever fought you on this? You're wrong. It's not the right grade for that
we will be looking at our scores. All right. So anyway, that was what it's below. And to get a full percentage above Super Mario Bros, it's 12 movies before you're one full percentage away. And yeah, so the movie that is 1% higher than Super Mario is Into the Spider-Verse.
All right. There you go. You're starting to make sense again. And then you start heading back down and you go, what?
Dude, but going the opposite direction, so I need to get to it.
I always thought that it would only be the movies that it beat that would be wild. I was 100% wrong. I was 100% wrong. I was as wrong about that as you are about the Eternals. It's not possible.
All right, so going down, so what this movie's above, and to get a full percentage below, there's 17 movies. So, all right, so Super Mario Bros. Again at a 91.45 is above Coco, which is at a 91.4. This is 0.05%, guys. Like, do you understand how small these margins are?
You did this, Caleb, okay? If you did not want this to be scrutinized, you shouldn't have gotten so into the weeds of where these movies end up.
I know, but it's fun.
And it's better than Coco, which I don't think is true. Coco for sure had a better story movie, but go on. What else?
I need to think of where, or I'd have to go back to see where Coco scored lower. But anyway, it's above Creed 3, which is at a 91.31.
Take your word for it.
It's above Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which is at a 91.2.
I can agree. Sorry, guys.
I mean, listen, go ahead.
It is also above Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is at a 91.12.
I've never seen the movie, but this is everything. Listen, we got to do this whole show over again. Erase it and let's start again, because I've never even seen the movie, and I know that's also wrong. It shouldn't be ahead of that. What is happening, Caleb? How did it take this long for everything to fall apart? Why was it the Mario movie that brought everything crashing down to the ground? This is insanity. This is insanity. I'm sorry, continue. Is there even another crazier one under that? Is it Into the Spider-Verse again somehow?
No. Then the last one is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is at a 91.1.
I don't know. Do the full percentage. I quit. I quit the show.
The full percentage? So to get a full percentage below this movie, you're looking at 1917.
But by all accounts, I've heard. I gotta tell you guys, didn't expect it to get this crazy at the end. Really thought that Vic, I hope you're listening right now, Vic. If you are, first of all, I love you very much. I don't know how you made it this far, but me and you have some retconning to do. Please come back.
Yeah, speaking of your retcons, it's actually above your guys' Far From Home score. Like, just you guys.
That's hilarious.
And also just for shits and giggles, because this is a video game movie, it's above Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
I don't know. No, don't shake your head. Yes. I don't know if this is the sleep deprivation talking or what, but I feel like my whole world has been turned upside down. Like, I am in a bad version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, what is happening? Nothing makes sense anymore, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my transgressions. I don't know what I've done to deserve this.
All right. So which ones were we arguing?
Listen.
So the Batman was one.
No.
Then Logan.
Yeah, it's the two that are wild to me. One I've seen and one I haven't seen. The Eternals is insanity, and Puss in Boots is also insanity. Like the fact that it is that the Eternals is above cuckoo bananas, and that this movie is above Puss in Boots. Again, never saw it. I've seen it like 2 clips that equal maybe 5 minutes, and I had more of an emotional outburst than I did during this entire movie. There is no chance that this movie is better than Puss in Boots.
All right. Okay. So check this out. So this is comparing it to Logan. Okay. Going like individual scores. We scored Logan higher on story. It was higher in writing. It was higher in acting. It was higher in character development. It was lower in effects, lower in music, lower in costumes, and higher personal score.
Wait, now you're saying this was Logan?
This was Logan.
Was lower in all of those than the Eternals?
So no, this is compared to Super Mario Bros.
Oh. No, I don't have a problem with it being below Super Mario or above Super Mario Brothers.
It was Eternals?
Okay.
It only cares about
Okay. Here, check this out. All right,
Eternals
this is compared to Logan and
above,
Eternals.
Listen to me. It's Eternals being above the Batman and Logan. That's insanity. And it's the Super Mario Brothers movie being above Puss in Boots. That can't be. It's not possible. I'm tearing the thing down. I'm exposing the truth. Listen, it's time for your regime to end.
All right. Okay, what do you want me to do? You want me to compare Eternals to Logan and Batman or Puss in Boots to Super Mario?
I don't know what I want, Caleb. It's too late for me to think clearly anymore. I'm just saying, anyone who has made it this far, what is the email address to write you at? Find them at the
Allbros channel at gmail.com.
What is your socials? You
at
tell me right now. At the Allbros. Okay.
All right. So listen.
Find them and no, don't know. This is my time now. You find them and you tell them that I am right. All you have to say is DJ is right. They'll know what you mean. Comment on all their comments. Do it all. DJ is right. That's it. Hashtag
right,
you're crazy. Something like that.
DJ, we're going to do something real quick. So which one are you more upset about with the Eternals, Logan or Batman?
Now you're really making me freaking cut a baby in half. Which is higher? What's above what as far as the Batman and Logan?
So in order, it's the Eternals, Logan, then Batman.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I liked Logan from the outset. The Batman was one that, like, grew on me. Like, the more I thought about that movie, the more I realized what an amazing story it was. And I don't know. If you're making me choose between the two, my gut reaction is the Batman. But
so you're more upset that Eternals is above the Batman.
If you're forcing me to pick one, then I'll say yes, that.
Okay.
If you give me some nonsense
check
that's
this
by
out.
0.001 stuff, it doesn't matter. It's still above it. You've done this to me.
All right. So going through Eternals. So just say which one you think should be higher, okay? While you go through the categories. So the story. Who's higher?
Who should be higher?
Who should be higher?
The Batman.
Okay, well, we didn't agree on that. What about writing?
Also, the Batman.
Okay, Batman was higher. What about acting?
I would say I'll be generous and I'll say equal, if that's an option. Or do I have to pick higher or lower?
I mean, you can say equal. It's not equal. We gave Batman higher.
Batman, I was going to say Batman is higher, but I think it's like you're dealing with such a bigger ensemble with the Eternals. I'm willing to like give them some leeway, but I definitely agree that Batman is higher in acting. But
all right, character development.
Yeah, Batman higher. What?
Batman. Like, were you agreed on that? Effects.
I would say, how about this? How about this for a curveball? The Batman, because it's more practical stuff. And I'm a fan.
That's exactly why we gave Batman higher.
What the hell are you saying to me? Are you about to tell me that this was all a big joke? Like, this is all a big late April Fool's joke? Where
This
like,
is not a late April Fool's. All right, music.
It's Batman. What are you saying?
We gave
right
the
now?
Eternals a little higher.
How?
I mean, how?
Name one song from the Eternals.
Well,
You can't. You know what you can do in the Batman, though? You can go, something in the way. So,
Shit.
try again.
All right, costumes.
Come on, son. We know it's Batman. Like, we know
tied
it's
them.
Batman. It's Batman.
They tied. All right, the only... okay, I wasn't paying attention to our personal score, and our personal score seems a little skewed.
Dude, it should be 90s. It should be mid to high 90s, that Batman movie.
Well,
Well, no, not personal score, obviously.
Hold up. I need to go look who is...
Oh,
because our... Dude,
looky.
I just... Hold on. Just chill. All right, where is Batman?
Hey, was it Brucker? Did he do a special guest star and ruin this too? Like, I hate Scott Pilgrim, but I sure do love an Eternals. 100.
Was Batman before or after Bob's Burgers movie?
It was before.
Before.
In the way. I love on TikTok they had the like joke.
So I was the asshole. Oh wait, no, I wasn't. Rose was.
Oh,
By like 1%.
sorry.
I gave the Batman an 88, which I stand by. Rose gave it an 87.
Wait a second.
Sorry.
What did you give Eternals?
Eternals, we both gave it a 93.
Hey man, you guys are insane.
We're not all stars.
You are insane. What is happening? I'm going to do my own. I'm going to do the All Brother Gazette about the two freaking psychopaths that give the Eternals 90s and the Batman 80s. What?
The Batman scored higher in most other categories, though.
Oh my God. Well, guys, it was fun being on my last episode of the All Bros. I can't believe it ended like this. I always thought we'd die in a fire together.
It's all Caleb's fault.
Rude. Anyway, so that's where Super Mario ended up. In the A- range.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make this a
along
thing,
with
but
a significantly other movies.
just all the non-cowards out there are going to write into you and be like, listen, DJ talks too much, but one thing he does have is a great point. And maybe you guys should revisit the way that you graded a 93, the both of you. Get out of here.
Okay, I've gone back and rewatched that movie. I stand by it.
We'll see. Maybe I should go back and rewatch it because I might have been blindsided in that movie.
Oh my god. This is so good. Thank you for this. I never thought I would disagree so badly.
Oh, shit.
But it's all love.
All right. Well, that concludes this week's breakdown. DJ, would you like to tell everyone where they can find you and the stuff that you should be doing?
Yes, my my home address is I I do a podcast with my lovely wife Bethany. It's called The Untrained Eye. You can get it where you're listening right now. You might be like, well, it seems like there hasn't been an episode since January. Maybe it's not updating. Just listen to our back catalog while we update, because there are plans to continue recording. But, life be crazy sometimes. Same thing with, I have a solo show I do called Dragging the Table. Check that out if you would like. Some of it's talking to people, like interviewing them, and some of it's just embarrassing, like audio diary stuff where I probably should just not have it on the internet. How about that?
That's a lie. Those episodes are usually pretty great.
I mean, listen, I got a lot of response out of the last one I did a couple months ago, so check that one out. I think it's called like Unfriended or Unfriended.
Wait, the horror movie?
I don't know. No. I had a someone who I had a falling out with like years and years ago, like called me randomly. By the way, very rude to turn off your camera in the middle of me talking to you, Rose.
Sorry, the thing flashed low battery. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. And like as I was preparing to like leave to go out of town the next day, this dude just calls me out of the blue, and I talked about that and my decisions that I made about him calling. That was weird. That one I felt like very vulnerable, and I got a lot of feedback from that of people that are like, yeah, man, I got like that in my life, blah, blah, blah. So there you go. That's my pitch for the solo thing. If you want to hear me not talk so much, or maybe talk so much, but there's a beautiful woman to go, hey, shut up, stupid. She doesn't call me stupid. Listen to The Untrained Eye.
It's a fantastic show, and I cannot wait for it to come back.
It's right there.
But we will be posting everything that DJ does in our description of this episode, so definitely go check all their stuff out. But yeah, if you like this episode, want to check out more of our stuff, be sure to follow and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. We are basically everywhere. So yeah, you can catch our episodes on YouTube if you prefer to listen that way. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, all at the All Bros. You can hit us up if you guys have an episode idea, want to answer our question of the week, or if you want to join us for an episode. We would love to have anyone on. You can also email us with your disputes about Logan and the Eternals and Batman at the Allbros channel at gmail.com, or check out our website, tinyurl.com/the Allbros, where you can find links to everything that we do. So yeah. Next week, though, you guys can look forward to us breaking down Cocaine Bear. So that should be a really fun one, hopefully.
Please reach out to Ben and see if he can do that. Like, I don't mean to like meta guest your people, but I feel like Ben, that is like a tailor-made Ben Bullman episode.
Oh, I'll hit him up for sure. So yeah, you guys can look forward to that next week. So yeah. Until then, this has been the All Bros Podcast. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
And I'm here too.
And we will catch you guys next week. Deuces.
So long.
Bye.